Alright guys, good morning. Thank you for coming for the JTAC basic course for Arma Malaysia. Today I'll be conducting a very basic course for all of you to at least get a familiarization of what a JTAC is all about, what do they do, and their primary roles, and the methods and also the uh, procedures to go through the CAS calls as well as medevac calls. Thank you for coming again. And if you could, you guys will be referring to a PDF format which I've passed to you guys, and from there I'll go through page by page. I apologize, I haven't. I'll update it because I didn't include the page number, but bear with me. I'll go through slowly with you guys. So if you can, would you kindly follow me to masuk into the hangar ke dalam? Come. Okay, guys, you can take a knee, take a seat, and I think here is not so bright and sunny lah. I'll go through the course materials right now. Any questions before I begin or not? General questions. Okay, kalau tak ada.
Uh,
You have a question, James?
oh no, yeah, no questions.
Okay. Today, if you move to your materials right now, and the first page is the Arma Malaysia JTAC course version 1.0, as you see behind me. Now we can go into the second page. Just gives you a rough idea. Basically, I'm not going to follow the timeline here lah. The second page basically tells you what we plan to do, which is the first, second, and third session. With today, I'll pack all three sessions into today lah, so we can do almost all three, and I'll try to cut it down to maybe, well, depending on how much questions we have, and I'll try to go into details. We may take about 1.5 or 2 hours maximum lah for all three. So okay, and going into the first sessions, what I'll do is I'll intro you into the CAS, the definition procedures, and then moving into the in-game practice and using the CAS ordinance lah. Basically, the third session is just a simple feedback, and then we'll close. We will do this in a simple way. Is I'll give you a very quick theory for the half of this course, and then after that we will port over to the JTAC range, and from the JTAC range what we'll do is I will simulate as a pilot. You guys will go through what I've taught you in terms of the radio calls and the procedures, and then as you go through that, I will also be voice acting a pilot, and then I'll call in the CAS via Zeus rather than me flying in actual plane or flying it virtually lah. Basically, I'll be using Zeus to based on your calls. I'll use Zeus to call in the CAS support for you guys. Okay, and now moving to before I move to the third one, okay, the third page. Basically, I just want to give you a rough idea for a JTAC, what gear they usually pick up. So let's say if you're assigned to a JTAC, basically you should remember the gear that is you should go for. Mainly, it's the a rifle, be it an M4 rifle or whatever other rifles you have. Don't carry the machine gun, or don't carry a sniper rifle. Use your basically a M4 rifle with a grenade launcher attached to it. Grenade launchers are important for JTACs for marking positions with smoke, and also for some sort of a flare, or you can launch flares, you can launch different colors smokes, and mainly not to be used as a HE grenade to blow people up. You can carry some, but the main ordinance that you should carry in your loadout will be more on smoke grenades rather than HE. Right, that will be your. Of course, you will need at least a laser designator, kind of a binoculars. If you're not if not available, then a basic binocular should suffice lah. Makes life a bit difficult, but at least it suffice lah. Ultimately, you do need some sort of optics, long range optics, either bino, preferably a laser designator, and even better if you can get a Vector 21, because the Vector 21 would actually be very useful for getting all the coordinates and the grids as well elevation just by a click of two buttons and then connected it to your micro dagger. Your micro dagger will give you all the information right away, and then you can quickly, very fast, plot it into your 9-line cards and get all the things. However, not all missions we are that lucky to be given a Vector 21. But if you do see it, take it up. And for the Vector 21, there's another procedure, or even to some point tutorial how to use the Vector 21. It most likely will even take half an hour just to give you a quick understanding of how to use the Vector 21. If you got time, go into the ACE website, look up the Vector 21 and do some reading. Also, if you can, also use YouTube to search for how to use Vector 21 in Arma 3 or something like that. There's some good videos that actually tells you. I later on most likely will post one good link so that you can take. In fact, the Vector 21 is a very good designation kind of binoculars or even some optics, not just for JTAC, but for a squad leader as well as a forward observer that calls in fire support from artillery. All right. You definitely need a long range radio. You can't contact any aircraft that's 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers away, and plus also if you have the terrain and all that, you have a problem. Plus also the aircraft will be high above the ground also. Short range will have some difficulties in communicating, and one of the most important aspects of a JTAC is actually your control and command, which literally needs you to have a very workable radio to be communicating to pilots. Without that, you will be combat ineffective when it comes to JTAC role. You definitely need a map. You can't be designating and giving coordinates without a map. Those few things are pretty much compulsory. Your rifle with a grenade launcher attached to it, a laser designator or binoculars or some sort of optics, preferably a Vector 21, a long range radio, a map. Those are compulsory. Secondary things that you would need to carry, I would say that if you get a chance, grab it, carry it. If you don't, then you can live without it lah. IR strobes would be one of it. You will need map tools. Map tools will be something that actually gives you a range. If you go into Arsenal, sometimes you'll see the map tools. I will give you a quick rough idea how to use it also later. Uh, you need if you can find a micro dagger, that would be awesome. With the Vector 21, you need that. You also need a lot of smoke grenades. Basically uh, for the grenade launcher, as well as smoke grenades that you can throw. That means hand smoke grenades, because you will need to mark your position as friendlies or other squads that's near to you. So that one you use a hand grenade that's a smoke. Okay. Other things that it's important for you to also need to be quite good at before you really take up a JTAC role is that you must be also proficient enough to navigate. In other words, you must know how to use a compass, have a rough understanding of distance. Mainly just by looking at it, you can give a rough idea that it's already 600 meters. This one experience lah. After a while, you look through, you agak-agak, you know what is 600 meters, 500 meters already. If you can okay, James, your hot mic.
Oh, is it?
Hot mic. All right, got it. So yeah, able to get compass reading, understanding directions. You have to be quite proficient in trying to, as over practice that southwest, you know southwest, northeast, all those things would be like second nature to you. Once you and someone calls in as southwest, you know how to quickly turn to it and really uh, view it as short of a time taken lah. So map reading is also very important. You must know how to understand the contours and the terrain and all that by looking at the map. It's very important to make sure that you know what is a ridge line, what is a saddle, what is a valley. Uh, just to give you a rough idea, basically, if you were to take your hand and you put it on the table, right, and if you make it into like a cup, like you lift the center of your hand slightly higher, uh, then that and you close all your fingers, that in a way kind of also help you understand or at least give you a good illustration what if a terrain is. Now, if you do that, you put your hand on the table right now and you make a cup. In other words, you lift your palm slightly higher and then make it like a bowl like that on the table. If you look at your knuckles, okay, the knuckles that sticks out, those are hilltops. Okay, so knuckles like that are hilltops. So if you look across all knuckles, macam from one knuckle to the other knuckle to the third to the fourth knuckle, that whole line of knuckles is called a ridge line. And then if you look at the knuckles in between, that means the one knuckle to the second knuckle, it kind of dips slightly and then goes back up. That's called a saddle. All right. The ridge line is also your fingers that go across. Those are ridge lines also. Now from the fingers, one finger, let's say your index finger, your pointing finger to the middle finger, in between those two fingers that goes into like a dip, that's obviously a valley. Okay, so if you look at the map, you would know that those that are the like a lot of zeros, that, kind of like the you will know what the hilltop looks like, right? So from a hilltop to another hilltop, if it's close together and you look at the how you say uh, the elevations of each, then you can agak-agak that would be a saddle already. Uh, in this map, is not a very good map for you to if you open up the map. This is a bootcamp map. That's not. It's quite flat lah, so it's not so easy to give you a understanding on how to read the maps here. So that will be covered into another course, mainly on a navigation course, which we will need to use another map which has a lot of terrain features, so that will be easy. But generally, that's what how you need to read the map lah. Also, you need to really know your communications. I mean, how to use the radio, can understand some calls and some acronyms and all that. The communication is key also, between the communication between you and your pilots, as well as you and the commander on the AO. You would also need to at least have a general understanding of the aircrafts and the ordnance it carry. Dia punya weapons semua mesti also at least understand what is a what you call it, a FFAR, AGM 64, AGM 65 Maverick, Hellfires. You need to also know things of the different kinds of types of guns, be it a door gun or the what you call it, the, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 30 millimeter or 40 millimeter gun on the A10s. Those are all things that, or even is a 50 cal on a little bird, or is a minigun on a little bird. All these you need to know, because as a JTAC, you are like the pretty much the controller on also to suggest which weapons to use on which targets. You will be making that call. And kalau boleh, finally, if you can fly, you know how to be a pilot, you try the helicopters or even the jets, you'll be a better JTAC on the ground. Okay, the JTAC usually stays with the HQ element, dengan PL ke atau usually the PL lah, not so much of a SQL or squad leader, on the HQ level or the PL, or it could be a designated OP during planning stage. Planning stage means during briefing before the mission starts. There will be a pre-designated OP atau observation point atau overwatch point that is designated for initial insertion for JTACs to be there, maybe early or maybe together, but has to be coordinated to give pretty much the overwatch area. If you don't have an OP, chances are you'll be following your platoon lead, because the platoon lead needs to understand the whole battle space, or the warning order, or the order of the battle of the day. He needs to also be in touch with you on what to do, whether to give the what you call that approval for a CAS mission or even deny, because ada friendly dekat ke danger close. Okay, those are basically the key basic stuff that you need to know. I'll just run through before I start the slides. I just run through a quick revision or review of some of the acronyms that is used. In JTAC, you hear a lot of things called IP, which is initial point, which is one very key thing which you need to establish an IP for aircraft, especially fixed wing uh, planes. You will have an OP, which is the observation point I mentioned just now, where most likely it's your position. You have a BP, or as in Bravo Papa. BP is actually a battle position. BPs are usually used for helicopters or rotary wing aircraft. It's battle positions versus IP. IP usually is used for fixed wing. BP is used for helicopters. But if you have an IP, the helicopter also can use. Why it's called a battle position? BP usually is like an area, a square area that's over a map that is predefined, and the helicopter can hover around the area because for helicopters they can hover, they can loiter around a BP. Obviously, you heard of LZs, which is landing zones, and PZs or PZ. PZs will be Papa Zulu, that is a pickup zone. Hardly use. We should be using pickup zones for extract rather than LZ. Sometimes most of our missions, sometimes we use LZ for everything, but the better definition is LZ is for insertion, PZ is for extraction. You'll probably hear most, well, I won't say probably, you most likely will hear words of cleared hot, which I will tell you later, which is quite clear. Abort, continue. Now, continue, these are a few words that I will give you in more details. Continue, contact. Contact here, under JTAC terms between JTAC and pilot, the contact is different than the contact on the infantry on ground. I'll tell you what it is later also. Other things like sparkle, lasso, which uses the laser during night missions to point into the air, or an IR pointer to you point it up in the air and you make a lasso. That means you pushing to make the make it visible for the pilot to uh, know where your location down on the ground, and probably for a extraction most likely. Or you for a sparkle and laser usually for a sparkle and lasso is usually for pretty much pick up or to at least let the pilot know your position or friendly's position. Sparkle could be something that when you point at the what you call this the target, and you say, "Do you see my sparkle?" That means the pilot will see your sparkle if he sees your laser pointing at the target. Now, when you point a target on the ground and you keep it pointed, uh, sometimes the pilot will get confused which is your end. Is your end the west side? Because I see a straight laser line. I don't know whether you're on the right side of the laser or the left side of the laser, which is you. Because as I see a straight line and you say this is the target, I might actually shoot you thinking you are the enemy. So the technique to do that is usually you do a lasso first. That means you point it up to the sky and you do a pushing, like a rope like that, pushing, and then you point it to the enemy and you say that's you see my sparkle first. You see my you do you see my lasso first, then now do you see my sparkle? Then at least I know that when you do a lasso, I know that's you, and then when you point to the enemy, I know that will be the enemy. So that is something that a lot of people on the troops always forget, and makes life difficult for pilots in the air. Okay. uh, Other words like rifle, pickle, and Winchesters. Rifle is when you hear the aircraft when he shoots the AGM uh, off the plane. That means he press the trigger and the AGM flies off the wing. He will call a rifle. Rifle 1, rifle 2. Pickle is usually used for bombs. When he pressed that button, the red button on the joystick, to release the bombs, ordnance release, he usually calls it pickle. Uh, Winchesters, I'm Winchester currently, and request to RTB. Winchester mean I have run out of all my ammos lah. That means Winchester on guns or Winchester on rockets would mean that my rockets sudah habis, and I request RTB for a rearm and refuel. So you hear that. You hear orbit, very common thing. I'll be orbiting, but most of the time they will follow by I'll be orbiting on a racetrack, uh, followed by usually a direction of the racetrack, be it a clockwise racetrack or anti-clockwise racetrack. So sometimes you hear the pilot giving you a sit rep JTAC. This is Reaper 11. I'm orbiting IP, what you call it, IP north on a right on a clockwise racetrack or right racetrack. Right racetrack means pusing kanan, left racetrack means pusing kiri lah, pusing in a round. BDA. BDA, you know what's a BDA? Anybody? Bravo, Delta, Alpha, BDA. Anybody? Tak tahu eh?
Nope.
Quite, quite common. BDA is a very common thing. You now, I think after this course, it'll be interesting that you start to listen to radio calls. Last time sound foreign to you. Suddenly, all the radio calls make sense to you, which is quite fun actually. BDA means Battle Damage Assessment. Uh, a BDA report usually follows from the JTAC to give the pilot after he has done a weapons run. Uh, Usually, when the pilot goes down and releases his weapon and he takes, egresses off to the east, he won't be uh, he won't be able to most likely won't be able to see the what you call it, the hits or the damages that he has done. He relies on the JTAC to let the pilots know what has been destroyed or not. Likewise, sometimes the PL, the platoon lead, will even ask for a BDA, which is the battle damage assessment. In other words, um, for example, if you have a A10 that did a gun run and then he flies off, and then you usually say good hits, stand by for BDA. And then when you look through your binoculars and you give it a BDA as follows, the BTR has been destroyed. Several troops in the open is currently out of commission. However, there another BTR is currently still active. You are cleared hot for a repeat. Then that's your BDA lah. Okay. Other things is tally, visual or no joy. Tally means I see. I tally your mark. Visual, I have visuals. And no joy means tak nampak lah. No joy on the mark, no joy on the T80s, no joy on your smoke. Uh, Also, actually, the other one is called contact also. That means when a JTAC says something like, I have troops in the open, grid 552615, call contact, then he said call contact. So when the pilot flies by and he sees what you tell him, he said contact. That means he acknowledge, he sees your contact. So tally, contact, visual, no joy are things that you hear. Read back, yeah, read back is very much just to repeat the uh, nine line at a not the whole line, but a few lines of it. You call it a nine line read back, just to confirm that, like especially the grid. You do a read back on the grid, then the JTAC confirms that the read back is good. That means tak salah lah, just to make sure that is confirmed is correct. Then you say good read back, good read back. Okay. Other things you hear, which is called a TT FACOR. TT FACOR is almost like a situation report between the JTAC to the aircraft before any missions lah. The TT FACOR is usually TTFACOR, which means you give an update on the threat, the target, the friendlies at grid, the artilleries, the artillery missions that are around the area, the clearance by the sea is clearance by fact, and what kind of ordinance and restrictions. I'll go through that later lah. Right now, just give you a rough idea. All right. Any questions? This is the basic intro, which is much the what you call intro to a JTAC and intro to CAS for you. First session. If no questions, I do feel free to stop me anytime if you don't understand and ask questions. It's a small class. I think it's good to have also a two-way discussions as I go along. If you don't understand anything or you have questions, just just don't put your hand up, because I'll be sometimes referring to the slides. Just call out and I'll try to answer as best. Okay, moving to the second slide. Second slide, the learning objectives, basically is to understand the JTAC fundamentals. I will go through what is type 1, type 2, and type 3 CAS. You'll probably hear a lot on the radio to say this is a type 1 control in effect, or a type 2 control in effect, or a type 3 control in effect. It's very important things to understand. One of the key things that's significant to JTAC. All right, then I'll go through the 9 line with you, uh, and also to basically explain line by line what it means. And after that, we'll do some basic stuff lah. The third slide, what's a JTAC, right? A JTAC, there is a one moment. If I could just pull out the definition from Wikipedia right away and just read it out for you, it'd be easy. Uh, One second. If you move to the next slide, you see the JTAC that comes with Tactical Air Control Party, Terminal Air Control Team, and all that. The JTAC, JTAC, is actually an acronym for Joint Terminal Attack Controller. It's a term used mainly in the United States Air Force and some other military forces. It's for a qualified service member who directs the action of a combat aircraft engaged in close air support and other offensive air operations from a forward position. The term is also used in other countries, uh, as well as previously in the US, and what is relevant to NATO standards, which is usually previous to this is called a forward air controller or FAC. The term became effective in the US only in 2003, so it's not that old. Uh, and if you look at the slides, a JTAC, if you look below the JTAC, right below, it was a evolution from a forward observer to become a JTAC. Earlier times, they only had forward observers. Forward observers are people with a radio and a binoculars that actually guides artillery missions or call for fire missions, right? And then now they have pretty much evolved into a full joint terminal air attack controller, which also can be also directing artillery call for fire also. Uh, but it's a more canggih one because they have a lot more training that actually includes the what you call this aircraft maneuvers, and a lot of them are part of the Air Force also. So from a forward observer, they have actually really much evolved into what is called a JTAC. And a JTAC can be two types of JTAC. There are two prongs of JTAC. If you look on the left side of the JTAC, it's called the Tactical Air Control Party, or a TACP they call it lah. The TACP is a bigger, it's almost like a squad of JTACs, almost like a department itself, which consists of two JTACs. One is the JTAC and the apprentice JTAC. It also consists of an air liaisons officer, which is a person from the U.S. Air Force or any Air Force. If it's because it's called a joint, it also includes other countries, and it includes a forward air controller from a U.S. Marine. Uh, what you call that core. So attack P is a team that usually attaches to the battalion level, which usually is important because of these joint four people. They are able to advise the battalion commander and what the best way to go about, and also give them some understanding of Air Force protocols and all that, because sometimes not the battalion commander doesn't really even will know every single detail. He needs advisors like this. So you get the TAC P or Tactical Air Control Party. Uh, for our missions, I hardly will see this lah, because most of our missions will not go to a battalion level lah, usually into a platoon level only, unless our servers can handle 100 people. Then you will start to see multiple JTACs, multiple forward observers and all that, which needs to deconflict a lot of things from artillery as well as the troops on the ground as well, and also the aircraft and different types of aircraft, from transport logistics to attack aircrafts, from fixed to rotary. Now on the right side is the Terminal Attack Control Team. Basically, this is the team which is the JTAC team. Uh, in real life, usually JTAC goes in pairs, dua orang. But in our
Oh,
mission,
is it?
yep. James, go ahead. I can't hear you.
Oh, just now you got a break. So you say in real life the JTAC terminal control team is what?
In real life, Terminal Attack Control Team goes in pairs, dua orang punya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh, well, for our games, we are quite flexible lah. But if in reality, they usually goes out in pairs. One is a JTAC, and the other one is always the apprentice JTAC lah. Uh, why they go in two also sometimes is because when the JTAC is actually in control with a active air asset on an active mission, the apprentice JTAC is actually monitoring a different net that is actually from the platoon net, and so that because sometimes if you are JTAC, lah, if you masuk dia punya radio, you get it from the aircraft, you get it from the squad leaders, you get it from the PL. But if you go into a really big operations, it can be quite messy to manage. So that's why one JTAC, while is controlling an aircraft that's active in a mission, the other JTAC is actually monitoring other nets. Okay, so that's most of our missions and games. We will be using the right side one, which is the terminal attack control team, mainly JTACs lah. Next, go to the next page. The JTAC defined already. Uh, Quickly, I'll go through very fast. As a JTAC, you need to know a lot of things. It's not sometimes that's why I say orang mau jadi JTAC bukan as simple as just take a radio and you go out there. You are pretty much a person that needs to observe the entire situation around you. You need to know the enemy's situation, the location of, and also the location of other friendlies, not just where you are. You need to also to support the commander's target priority, because the commanders sometimes have a certain priority, but at the same time you have friends in another squad that is being really hammered by a BTR or something. So how do you manage this asset is very important, and managing the timing between those assets availability is very important. You have to be very clear to give proper advice to the commanders. And knowing the commander's intent and the applicable ROE is very important, because you can't just go on your own macam solo and a cowboy and just open up the cast into a town, uh, killing a lot of civilians. So you need to make sure that you understand the commander's intent. What is his mission about? Is it to his hearts and mind? You cannot just kill anybody you like. And got to get we call it clearance from him. You need to validate targets of opportunity, meaning that while there are a target on the ground that is ready, but you have to scan around for other targets that's opportunity, that's not planned, but it suddenly pops up. So you need to really validate those targets and make sure that it's not friendly, and make a call whether it's a priority target or something you can just let it go. Okay, you have to advise the commander on proper employment of the assets, meaning if you have a A10, at the same time you have a what you call that Apache that is on station. It's you, the JTAC, that needs to really advise the commander at a specific target what is the best employment of this air asset, because you must understand that the A10 has its limitation. Sometimes they will just fly so fast and go by, he will not be able to hit maybe a BTR in the alleys, whereas a Apache that's from 1 km away, he's hovering, he has a steady sight, he can actually deploy his Hellfires onto those that actually quite from a lob attack that really can come from the top down and kill a BTR, even though it's in a small alley. So you have to advise the commander what is good. You have to quickly submit the cash uh, request in a format that basically the pilots will be able to quickly get their understanding and execute the CAS request. You must also be able to control the CAS, which is literally in line with the commander's approval. I mean, what I mentioned earlier, you can't just simply be a cowboy, or you cannot just run alone there and just call in your own CAS at your own discretion. You can't do that. The other important thing is that you're supposed to deconflict aircrafts and fire from other CAS sorties, meaning if you have like my last mission, I have Kabe who is on the logistics, and then I have MK who's on the Harrier, which is a airstrike, and then Kabe is in the same area with MK. I got to deconflict them in different altitude. I tell Kabe, you stick with your low altitude, which is above no nothing above 300 meters, and I told Kabe to move to medium altitude that's above 300 above 700 meters. So you deconflicting the aircraft so that they don't go into a collision. You are supposed to also deconflict if there is a artillery mission that's coming from a different angle, suppressing a target while you are also giving a CAS support. So you can't bring the plane to or aircraft to kind of cross path with a artillery mission that's ongoing, right? And then finally, you have to provide the initial BDA report, which is the battle damage assessment. After the whole sortie or the mission, you have to give because you have eyes and all that, you have to give the report to say what has been damaged and whether you can call it a mission complete or to redesignate a what you call repeat attack. You move to the third one. Close air support mainly comes in three phases, like the planning, preparation, and execution of a CAS support. Now, close air support means close. Basically, if anything that is, well, in real life, anything that's less than 2 km, 2 kilometers of request for a support is called close air support. It's almost danger close already. Obviously, in Arma, when we play, we hardly get this kind of distance. Most likely, we will look at 1 km. I consider it as a close support. 2 km is considered, I'll call it air support only, not close air support already, because in Arma, the maps are smaller. But in real life, anything beyond 2 km is called air support, not close air support. Okay, move to the third one. The third slide is calling a planning of CAS. Uh, Planning of CAS, if you follow the arrows, you start from a briefing. From the briefing, it's very important that all of us are planning or sharing of intel before we go into the AO, and it's very important that the JTAC also understands what is the potential threats out there and what is actually the mission all about, and you analyze the missions, and with all those things in line, you will be working with the pilots to carry the right ordnance, plan the route, everything, getting the right frequencies on radios and all that, and what kind of rules of engagement lah. So that's your main planning part, where you have to understand uh, what are the potential air threats also, uh, whether there's a potential high value target, which are like mostly armor lah. Armor would be the most key potential high value targets for any CAS support, or because on the ground, if you have troops versus troops, I think you leave it to them to handle it lah. Don't send a CAS and start raining down rockets into a small squad. Not necessary. Uh, there's also, like I said, in the planning, if there is a artillery suppression coming from friendlies on one side, you need to know in advance. Then after that, you from the main planning, you would move into planning your OPs, whether you follow uh, this what you call that the platoon lead, or you were to create your own OP at a certain strategic area, most likely at a high elevation area, or you don't want to have an OP in the middle of the woods. It's not going to make any difference. And then you would also plan battle positions or IP positions for the pilots. By right, JTAC is the one that's supposed to plan IPs and OPs, not the pilot. In our games, a lot of times, because our JTACs are just well, not really sufficient or proficient in all the procedures, the pilots will be putting the IPs and OPs. In real life, the JTAC, in consultation of the pilots, would be the one that plays where is a good IP and where's a good BP, and also where's a good OP for yourself. All right, you will be also understanding. You will also understand where is restricted areas, certain areas where a lot of friendlies, or let's say on the west of grid line 677542, west, total whole west of that sites are uh, restricted airspace. You must make sure that you tell the pilot this is no go, no fly zones. Uh, and other than that is you know look at what kind of threats there are on the ground. For JTAC threats, usually are SAMs lah. JTAC don't really go and find out what is an air threat. Uh, when you send in CAS, the air threats, it's mainly for another the what they call a CAP patrol, combat air patrol site to manage. That means the if you have combat air patrol, then they will be taking care of air threats. But as a JTAC, if you see a frog foot in the area that's coming for our CAS, by right you should ask them to bug out already. You shouldn't ask them to. You shouldn't be assigning CAS to go and take out a frog foot that is air-to-air combat, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you are
So the combat
CAS,
air patrol is a sky team. I mean, the team is operating up in the air.
combat air patrol would be something that, let's say, you would have a squadron or maybe a jet that's with the weapons of sidewinders and AIM 120. That would usually be uh, in many ways controlled by either the tower or by well, they have an air battalion commander lah, not the JTAC lah.
So, but to report in the, let's say, the frog foot to the commander is the JTAC job, right?
Yes,
To report them.
yes, you must report if you do see a threat. If you see well, frog foots are also close air support from the enemy. But let's say if you see a Su-27 or MiG 2027, Su-29, when you see those, it's very clear those are air-to-air aircraft. When you see that, you report it right away. Before you even report it, you should be asking your CAS to pretty much get out of the area already. So A-10s, Apaches, and all that, they are not really built to go for air-to-air. So they have defenses air-to-air. That means that they have maybe two or four stingers on the Apache and maybe two sidewinders on a CAS Harrier or A10. That is mainly used for defense, not for attack. The moment you see a air-to-air threat, he either run away, but if he can't run away, that's what the defenses are for. So JTAC will say we have intel on incoming air-to-air threat. Move to bug out to IP, east or IP, or maybe even to a point further out. You may even ask to RTB and stand by there. Things like that. All right, and then if we are lucky, we have our own cap. Then the cap will take care of the air-to-air. All right.
Okay, one more question, right?
Sure.
In the planning of the IP and OP for the JTAC, does he have to refer it to the commander, platoon commander, or the squad?
Yes, usually this happens in a total briefing when the platoon commander calls in all the squad leaders, the what you call it, the aircraft JTAC, all will also join that meeting, and that's when you usually start to have the initial planning of all where the OP is, where the IP is, where the CP is, and all that. So the JTAC has a say also that after the infantry on the ground says this is my CP, and then we'll move to CP1, CP2, CP3 via vehicle and all that. When the JTAC sees the movements of, let's say it's a convoy mission and all that, then the JTAC will understand the movement of the intent of the commander. That's when he advises that if you are moving here, I will be having an OP here, and I will have two Apaches on station on a BP north of it, things like that. As well, I will have two A10 on station way off at IP Dodge or something, which is like almost like 5 kilometers north of Altis or something like that. So that's when you would, as a JTAC, would contribute to the the planning in the main initial briefing.
So in a way, the JTAC team, right, if it's a pair or solo, right, he can actually be quite far away from the main squad or platoon.
Yeah, that's affirmative. If there is a specific mission that allows a insertion of the JTAC, or even the JTAC take a truck that drives to a certain area, yeah, they can be quite independent once the plan has been done. Then they can actually go to an area. What the JTAC usually don't do is to join the CQB and go into buildings and start clearing buildings. You 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 when he dies in there, you have a big problem already. Uh, you JTAC is more of a support level which moves into the back lines of the what you call that. You don't go into the front lines, as well as you don't join the attacking squad and all that. You are more on JTAC is more on the support line. But yes, James, yes, you can detach yourself from the uh, HQ if the mission says that there's a pre-planned OP.
Okay.
Right? Any questions? Then we'll move to the next one. The next slide is the CAS preparation. Well, once the whole planning is done, that's when you start to move out. When you move out, you follow through the whole entire CAS plan. There are initial CAS plans that are already predetermined in the beginning. Sometimes let's say if you want to attack an airfield, uh, there will be a plan to also put an OP in a close by observation site, overwatch site, that the JTAC will move together with either the recon team or even with a sniper team all the way to the observation point. Uh, we will establish the OP there, and then once you are there, the mission is to clear the airfield. Basically, it's almost like the recon with the snipers. You start to scout the entire airfield and make sure you observe all the targets. Mark the targets in terms of distance. So let's say the tower from you, like okay, the two missions before, when I went in with James on a recon team. Once we get to our OP site also as a recon team, we the first thing I did was to mark something that's the most obvious. There was a tower, a tall tower there, and in the map it doesn't say tower, so I marked a tower there already on the map, so that other people go in, at least you can use that as a reference point. So from where we were, I already know from my position to that tower, it's already about 600 meters. So from that, I agak-agak anything that is slightly in front or further, I don't even need to quickly get a range. I can pretty much guess that the range is about 300 meters, because I know that 500 meters is the target already, the tower already. Likewise, if you are in an OP to observe, let's say, airfield, then you start to pick some key landmarks like the control tower, a very big hangar, or the end of the runway on the east side or something like that. Then you would maybe call it names lah. Maybe you can assign certain call signs there. You can assign uh, what you call that, uh, CP1, or something, or CP2 or CP33. You don't conflict with other signs, but you can mark it there for yourselves, so that when you call, let's say, the tower, then 200 meters west of tower, then you know that someone would know that the tower is there. 200 west from it is where the mark that you want to go. So you start putting kind of like pins onto the area, AO, for your own reference, as well as if you can talk to the aircraft, you can guide them down also. All right. So that's after the movement to the OA, you start to observe. And when you observe, then you wait for the main troops to come in, and you follow through the battle order lah. So, assuming before the troops arrive at phase line 1, you start to call in a first wave of aircraft to, maybe even usually sometimes what in real life what they do is they will call in the interdiction to immediately destroy the runway first. So like A-10s would drop runway. uh, there are bombs built to damage runway lah. So it will drop in a sequence, then the runway is all damaged already. Then aircraft from the airport cannot take off already. So fighters and all that cannot retaliate and cannot take off. So that's your wave one, is to basically kill all that. Actually, before even that, the first wave is usually to bring in a what they call a SEAD, or suppression enemy. What you call this? I forgot the acronym. Is called SEAD, suppression of enemy air defense, SEAD. So suppression of enemy air defense is a mission whereby maybe F-18s will go there and start shooting their what you call it, the HARMs, radar designated, to kill, to basically destroy all the radars, so that you blind the enemy already. Once you kill all the radars, then the SAM have a tough time shooting. The radar guided SAM have a tough time shooting. Then they have to rely on it, on infrared missiles. So you see that there's a battle order that the JTAC will start to call in the SEAD mission first. Then when the SEAD is completed, mission achieved, then you have how you say, the other air assets are most safer to move in. Then you send in another one to clear to destroy the runway. Then you can't have any more enemy AA threats flying. Then only you send in the CAS. So once the CAS come in, then the CAS will give very close support in terms of destroying the armor there, without needing to worry about other enemy threats, which are mainly ground threats, like SAMs and IRs and all that. So you see the battle order of a JTAC is not so straightforward. It's quite interesting one if you think about it. Okay, move to the next page. This is what I was talking about earlier. The next page, you see the execution part. Execution part is mainly you look in many areas already. You start to, as a JTAC, you start to look into the, you make sure you start to track your friendlies. If it's a armor division coming from one side, your troops are coming from another area. You have a convoy coming in. You have logistics. You have to start to track all your friendly units, so you must know the situation around you. Then you observe the triggers I mentioned earlier. Like the triggers are the one that I meant just now, is that you put in the control tower, the end of a runway, a huge hangar. Those are your triggers that you already place onto your own map or your notepad. The other thing about, I forgot to say, as a JTAC, even for Arma, you need to really bring a notebook. Hi Achai, come join. Don't worry, no worries. Uh, I have recorded. You boleh refer back to the video for the things that you have missed. But it's still masih theory only. So later on, I haven't gone to the nine line and all that. So no worries. So okay. Acha, you ada the document aku ask to download tak? Ada tak Acha? Itu PDF punya
Uh,
file. Ada tak? Kalau you ada, move to the page. Yeah, I should put page number. That's why. One, two, page 10 lah. The one that says execution of the CAS. Uh, the page that is after the CAS preparation. The next page is called execution. If you go to that page, you can keep up with us. All right. So the execution part I was mentioning just now is that once you observe the triggers, then after you have your triggers ready, you should start to observe the enemy threats, whether there's reinforcement, QRF, and all that coming. Once you do that, the picture below it. Apologize that this is a bit not in scale, but the picture below it is that you start to uh, assign where is the restricted areas already for the CAS, so that the CAS will know where is a no-fly zone and all that, so you know the restricted area. That's what that picture below it that says artillery close support aircraft attitude and lateral separation. This is also assuming that you have artillery mission at the same time also for suppression. Then what you do is the other one is you look for CAS requests lah. Then you wait for CAS requests or any target of opportunities. The group, the friendlies had gone into the area already, and they're starting to clear the, let's say, the airfield already. And suddenly there's a QRF that comes with a group of either BTRs or even some armored tanks or all that. That's when the troops will start to call for a CAS request. That when you really need the nine line or the CAS, close air support, danger close already. And then you determine, from there you determine the type of control. I'll go through the type 1, type 2, type 3 control. So you have to understand whether that request is a type 1, type 2, or type 3. And then that's when you go into the transmitting of the 9 line and the CAS brief already. And the aircraft will start to do its CAS attack. The CAS attack will look into what you call it, uh, all the procedures that the IPs, the markings of the targets, and then the aircraft also confirm the targets via your markings, be it smoke or laser designation. He will confirm whether that I have, I contact blue smoke, BTR contact. So you said affirm, contact, proceed, or continue. That's the how the script will go later. I'll go through that with. So once that's done, then the aircraft will proceed to its inbound and execute its weapon release. Uh, well, very important is before the weapon release, one more time he will make sure that he will ask for a clear hot. Usually he will just tell you that I'm inbound in from the north. Then you say Roger that, cleared hot, or uh, cleared dry. Clear dry means or proceed dry, meaning you will pass the area and he will not employ weapons because sometimes things have changed. The situation can change while you are planning. So he will say, negative, negative. I need you to. You are cleared dry. Just pass through the target, or he will just tell you to abort. Okay. Then if everything is cleared hot, the aircraft will proceed for weapon release, and then after that you will go down to the next picture. It's actually upon the weapon release is a BDA. It's actually a battle damage assessment. So then if the battle damage assessment is two parts, like if it's a mission complete, target destroyed, the mission complete. If it's not, then you can also reassign for a repeat attack. All right. Any questions from you? That is the flow of the three parts: the planning, the execution, uh, the planning, the preparation, and the execution. Those are the three parts of it.
Okay, yeah, just a question, right?
Yep.
Okay, in terms of like some of the operation, because when we call for cars, right?
Yep.
The possibility of a threat to the cars, do we take that risk or do we really need to kind of sort out to make sure there's no anti-air system and also rocket system in the area?
It's also the JTAC's responsibility to make sure that the area is cleared from air threats, because you are on the ground. You have a clear visibility of the threats better than the pilots in the air. Um, Also, you are also in contact with other troops on the ground, because your radio would have also be connected to the platoon net, and you will be also receiving a lot of what you call that, sit rep reports and all that, whereby you may have a squad that is far west that side and saying that they have eyes on a triple A or a SAM site on that side. You would need to be well aware of that and mark it on your map already. So you are pretty much responsible to also let the pilots or the aircraft know that there's potential threats 1 click northeast of friendly troops right now, an OP5 or whatever. So yes, you are the one that are the coordinator and the deconflicting of all these things.
Okay, in terms of like sometimes because of the viewpoint, like we are coming from one direction, so some of those buildings we can't see on the other side, right? Do we really take the risk to call for cars even without knowledge of what's on the other side of the town?
Usually no lah. Usually no is because uh, uh, let's say if you have a troop, the reason why you want to call cars there is that you already have troops in contact there. They are really pinned down badly and they can't do anything. CAS is usually on support role. You don't send a CAS in front to attack something that you're not aware of. That's why sometimes there's also this our debate lah, that if we send cars there just to whack all the troops in the front lines before even the troops get there, then poor thing lah, lain tak ada makan lah,
Yeah.
you know. So it's also important that people know the air wing as well as the JTAC, the role is very much support. Those who come into these slots must be at least be disciplined enough to wait for support requests rather than just going out there to clear the area lah. Unless otherwise,
Okay.
unless and otherwise is intended by the commander that he gives a clearance to the JTAC. I need you to go there and clear it. And if you need to go there to clear it, if you have no intel over there, uh, then the JTAC suggests that maybe instead of sending the A10 there, you send an Apache if you have the asset to look at have a better position in the area there to uh, at least scout the area before you even intend to send an A10 or other assets lah. You may actually send a logistics like unarmed little bird or an unarmed Black Hawk to go to an area there and just give a rough area scan or recon to make sure that those places are clear from air threats. Hi, Biscuit. As I mentioned to Aceh just now, no worries. Aku sudah record this and you can refer to the things that you have missed out. We're just still in the middle of the theory part. Kalau you boleh, Biscuit, you ada dia punya PDF ke document tak? Kalau
Not yet.
kalau you ada, just take it out and then move to page 10. I didn't put the page number, but you count 10 pages under the part where it's right after CAS planning. I'm now in the slide that says execution.
Alright.
Right? Then at least
Okay,
you can follow
one
through.
more question, I'll get it.
Sure, James.
Okay, just to share experience last night, right? Okay, last night the thing is like when one of our team was pinned down by the BDR, right? Katsu actually request permission to send the cast to take it out. But I hesitate a bit because we haven't have intel on the other side of the town, which is where the BTR was hiding in the first place. So this is the type of things. Do we take that risk of sending a cast even if we do not know if there's anti-air behind those buildings from our side?
Uh,
By being engaged.
okay, like I said, the risk assessment comes from the platoon lead or the leader of the mission. If you find that you would have either most likely you will send a squad over there to have some eyes lah. If you don't have a squad to go over there to have some eyes, honestly, the platoon leader have to weigh the risk. If let's say you are sending like yesterday, I was on Little Bird. If you were to get the JTAC to send me on a Little Bird to go close by, and I get shot down by a infrared SAM or some sort of a that I can't detect, obviously it's a bad call lah, because the Little Bird for one, it's fast, but it can't take any damage one. It will crash. Even some small arms fire also koyak already. And the Little Bird has very poor. If I'm alone, I don't even have a co-pilot. My situation awareness is very poor, so I rely on my eyes only. So yeah, I have to go really close and zoom really close to see whether there's any threats there while I'm trying to figure out how to attack what you call this the enemy that you have assigned me over there. So if your asset is just like a Little Bird with very like FFARs, and you have a good feeling that the other side is either a BTR or a armor with autocannons, I would suggest you don't take the risk lah.
Okay.
Right? Taking a risk would be more if you do have uh, Apaches that can take it out from like 3 kilometers away. Then you can send Apaches to an area, BP maybe on an angle that he can see better than you, and then get the Apache to take it out. But on a Little Bird, no, you shouldn't. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
But we sent for you anyway last night because you were really pinned down.
Well, I mean, you got really pinned down, and I think Katsu did a good, in a way also. He did. He says he watched a lot of videos, so even not trained also, he did send me in a very good trajectory that is not really straight in and blind and kill, But he did tell me, you go in that side, and then from this angle you come in, and then you should what you call that, not extract, sorry, egress out from another area. So it was okay lah. I thought it was in that kind of situation. It's risky, but it went well lah. All right. Okay, just give me 1 minute while I just do a quick respond to one of my messages that I need to urgently respond. Just 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. Then okay, move to the next slide right now. The next slide, if everybody's on the same page with me, is a picture of the slide just shows the attitude and lateral separation. Sorry about that. Actually, what it is artillery close support aircraft attitude and lateral separations. But the important thing is that I'm just quickly just tell you what you mean by deconflicting this one. Everyone has the same page with me? Am I on the same page, or I lost you guys, or I went too fast?
Sama.
Sama. Okay. This one basically is just to tell you that this one later on when I go into 9 line, you will know why this is important. Uh, you are supposed to guide the aircraft to come in at a certain angle, and also to give him certain restrictions on depending altitude, and then tell him where the friendly is and all that, and then make sure that you get the right close support and direct him away from an egress point that is not in conflict with the tempat yang no-fly zone or restricted airspace. Because the restricted airspace in real life sometimes at the same time there's close air support, there's also artillery that is suppressing, continuously suppressing an area. Most of the time the artillery will be suppressing AA for you if there is a mission like that lah. Artillery can suppress the AA like ZSU or mainly like SAM sites and all that. When you do the CAS support, you would make sure that it goes down to a minimum altitude so that it doesn't hit potential hit with a flying shell that's coming from artillery, and make sure you direct him out lah. So these are the things that JTAC do. This is like a air traffic controller, which is why uh, make it to what you call this. You're supposed to make it mainly like your control tower lah, in the front lines lah. Okay, next page. The execution as I just now. This the basically just final details. Um, Once the CAS has already weapons release, the assessment of the CAS is important. One of which is the BDA, which I mentioned. BDA, those macam acai dengan biskut tadi I explain BDA. You orang tahu apa BDA kan? It's a battle damage assessment report. So it's a report that the JTAC will give a BDA after the weapons release, to say that you have good hits or you miss targets. Targets are 200 meters west of your drop point or upper, something like that. Just to give him more details on getting him back on target. Kalau target destroyed, you just say good hits. Target destroyed. End of mission. Assuming that you got a good hit, but the thing is still up, like yesterday, the 2 days ago, when we did the mission whereby uh, MK hit the what you call it, BTR. BTR was destroyed, but the troops came up from the BTR and they started to attack. So that was a partial success. So I told him the BDA I say battle damage, or I say BDA report as follows: BTR is destroyed. However, you have troops that came out from it, and the troops are now in open, and they are actually retaliating on our troops. You are cleared hot for a repeat. That's where the tasking come in again. So you can ask him to go for a second round lah, or third round, or until necessary lah. So that's the tasking. Or if the tasking is done, you can give him another tasking. You say mission complete. Proceed back to IP fort and continue to orbit at IP. So he will go back there and he will uh, circle around on station for your next tasking lah. Or you can tell him to please orbit at 700 meters for to provide further intel on ground for troops. He can at least give you some recon and all that at above, and do a racetrack orbit ke atas. All right, next page. Condition for effective close air support. These are the few conditions we go through really quickly on this. Uh, to have a really good, effective close air support, obviously JTAC as well as the pilots, you have to go through effective training and proficiency, like what we are doing right now. Because if you guys can't communicate proper, the JTAC team, which includes the JTAC as well as the air assets, are all bad. Is pretty much uh, battle ineffective lah. You can't do a good mission. It's very also important to do the planning, which I mentioned earlier. How do you do the planning and how you integrate the planning? Command and control would mean that you have to be able to command the air assets, and you must be able to control it. The moment you lose control, in sense like for example your radio rosak, or you can't even get a good signal, or the signal is very bad, and the moment you can't control, you are ineffective already, because you can't command and you can't do it. Air superiority means that for a CAS mission, you have to control the skies. Meaning, just I mentioned earlier, if let's say that same sky have enemy air to air, a MiG-27 is in the air, you have no air superiority. Being a CAS support, if you don't have that, if someone is better than you, you don't call in your CAS already. You have to clear the skies with all the air-to-air threats, or to some point also to on the ground threats, which are the SAM. If you all those cleared, and then you rule the skies, that's when you call in sky air support. This is theory lah, best possible, like James you mentioned. There's no way you can every time clear it, because things will pop up, right? So yeah, that's when it's very dynamic and fluid. You should have some sort of target marking lah. You can laser, you can have smoke, um, you can throw IR grenades, or you can have your grenade launchers, which I just now also say it's important that your gear that you bring as a JTAC would include grenade launchers and smoke grenades. Once you have target markings, then you are at least efficient. Um, Streamlined and flexible procedure means that you should also have procedures set, and also to be streamlined with other units. Um, uh, like you have, let's say, JTAC, and you have in a platoon that has 3 squads. All 3 squads should also have a streamlined procedure, that the squad in front could also give information to the JTAC, rather than the JTAC doing all the work. So once the procedures and are streamlined across the whole entire platoon, then you can be effective. Meaning, uh, teamwork from all squads. Likewise, teamwork from other platoons if we are in joint ops also. Say we have the Philippines that come and play with us. So if we have flexible procedures and streamlined procedures between the Philippine team and our team, the JTAC will be damn bloody efficient. Okay, you must also have the right appropriate ordinance. Don't send me on a gun run to a T90 and ask me to take out a armored tank with my you know my 2 little miniguns. So
That won't work.
yeah, even rockets. If you have rockets on a BTR like yesterday, it's not going to destroy it. It's going to disarm it, or maybe just rosak. But be aware that when it's rosak, the enemy could also actually repair it, and suddenly it's back in what you call in service again. So yeah, just make sure that the appropriate ordnance are there. Hellfires. Don't send me to fire hellfires onto squads lah, on troops, enemy troops. You know, it's doable, but it's in real life it's mahal lah. You know, it's about 60. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 600 600,000 USD per hellfire or something like that. You shoot six people on the ground is what a waste. Favorable environmental conditions. Don't send me out in a sandstorm, that kind of thing. You know, and also if let's say terrain and all that, don't you know you have to be aware of the terrain around you to make it very efficient. All right, that's conditions. Next one. Now, let me check and see. Next one, it's just the sample fighter check-in, which is you see behind me also on one of the screens on my left. Uh, it's these are the two main sample uh, brief cards that the JTAC as well as the pilot should have the same one. One is the close air support check-in briefing, which the pilot usually uses it, but also good for the JTAC to have it so that the JTAC can record and keep stock of your armaments or your assets that is out there lah. And then of course the 9-line close air support briefing format is the most what you call that? It's a most summarized way of coming with a very structured communication between the JTAC and the air unit on a very complicated situation. Even though it's still 9-line, it seems complicated, but without this, it's worse lah. So if you look at the close air support check-in briefing, basically you have the aircraft lines. You call in your call sign and then you talk to the JTAC's call sign. Mission number is there. You usually there's a mission 001 for us. If we don't implement, but why not? Like sometimes we just go realism, just masuk lah. And then you have the number and type of aircraft. This is a check-in by the pilot. Let's say I have two F-18s. I'll call in. Uh, I'll tell you the flow later lah. Then you have a position and the altitude, the ordinance, the time on station, and you have the types of sensors and the abort code. Typically, what it is that the pilot will come in and say that we are on IP Dodge, ready for my check-in. Then the JTAC will say things like proceed for check-in. This is Reaper 11. Sorry, you call in Crossroad. This is Reaper 11. Mission 665. Two times F-18 on station. Um, this IP currently 200 meters from IP North at Angels 15. Uh, Coordinates will come with 1,600 rounds of 40 millimeters guns, 6 Hellfires, 2 MK82. Time on station would be 60 mics for playtime. Able to self-designate, or I have FLIR, lantern, whatever. Those are the optics that they have. Or you can just say no sensors available. Abort code would be abort, or abort could be nuclear, whatever it is lah. So that's how you check in. So when you check in, then the JTAC would know that you have on station two F-18s, which are able to do either what kind of CAS, able to take out tanks or whatever. 9-line will go down to details in a while, but basically it just tells you a request on how to attack certain targets. Okay. The next one is just actually the sample of actual field, something that's filled already, so that it's good for you to also look through it for reference. Just exactly what I mentioned just now. Okay, and move to the next one. The CAS briefing is also actually another better sample for you just to look at it. But just the addition to this is on the left side of it, from the 9-line card. There's an offset direction. Um, just one moment. Okay, I think what I'll do, the CAS briefing itself, I'll go into details of the 9 lines already. Um, You see that on the right side is the 9 line. Usually what it is the 9 line will start with this. The JTAC and the pilot will communicate. Uh, let's say the JTAC will tell the pilot ready for 9 line. The pilot would say send your 9 line. JTAC will start with this as you see on the 9 line card. Uh, let's say the pilot is or the air SA is called Enfield 11 and the JTAC is called Death Star. So you start with Enfield 11. This is Death Star 11. Type 1 control in effect. Now this is the actual flow. By right, in reality, they don't call out the line 1, line 2. They just go through the whole thing to cut the thing as short as possible. So for for real pilots and all that, they do that. But when we are in game, we just call it out like it's if you don't understand, just call line 1 forward, line 2. But in reality, since we just in this topic, I just go through how real things work in the real life one. Not that I'm a pilot, but I seen enough on YouTube and all that and a lot of reading. um, it goes Enfield 11, the Desta 11. Type 1 control in effect. Ford 040 right 3.3 40 meters. IFR on the road 06014835. Marked by Willie Pete. Troops in contact south 1000 west to Fort. Ready for remarks. Ready to copy remarks. That's how it goes in the real one. The real world, they skip all the the initial things. And for the pilot, when they have the when you have this 9 line card, they just start filling in already. Okay, what it means in detail. Enfield 11 is their star. You call your call signs. Type 1 control in effect. I'll go through type 1, type 2, type 3 later. There's 3 types of cache control. Okay, Fort means the IP Fort where you ask the aircraft to begin his approach. So there's a predetermined IP on the map most of the time during planning. If not, there's also you can always plan on the go also lah. That is the IP. The heading 040 is for the aircraft to have a heading from the IP. That means once he reached the IP, he has to come in his heading of 040. Meaning, let's say the IP is somewhere on the uh, uh, south, lah. Let's say on the south. That means once he reached IP, regardless where he comes to into the IP, he have to move towards the northeast side of 040 already. Offset of right or left is like on the card that you see on the left side. Uh, you would sometimes have a left or right offset, but not all the time. Sometimes there's no offset at all. You just said 040, then you go to distance already. Offset is to get the plane to offsets its approach away from any ongoing artillery support coming from the left side. Here you see that offset right because there are artillery on the left side already. Because if he were to suddenly go on the left side, he'll be conflicting with the artillery. So yeah, that's what it means by offset left and right. Distance is 3.3, meaning from the IP to the target is 3.3 clicks, and then the elevation is 40 meters off the what you call this off the target. Elevation, it's used because in real life when the A10 starts to key in the all these things into its computer onboard computer, the elevation would help the accuracy of the targeting computer to make sure that the rounds fall on target, because elevation and distance would be in relevance to each other to make sure that the targeting computer knows how to calculate how to weapons release onto the targets lah. But in Arma, obviously, it's not what you call that molded in it, but then you have the target restriction, IFV on the road, or troops in the open, or BTR in the open. You can, or whatever the description of the target lah. You will have to mention that. Uh, T T90 in the open. Then you go to target location is actually the grid. Now here he has a 8 grid digit. Usually what it says, most of the times what JTAC also do is to say standby for, or you said 4 grid, 8 grid, 8 digit grid, or 6 digit grid, or 10 digit grid. In Arma usually it's a 6 digit grid. But sometimes you really want to go into a very detailed precision target. You can actually add the fourth digit, the what you call it, eight digit, that means the fourth digit in each axis. uh, you can agak-agak on the map also. If you even you don't see it, you can know what is. You can divide it into segments and call the last four digit. Here is 06014835. Sometimes you will hear people call in things like Golf Romeo 045 675 or something. The Golf Romeo is actually a MGRS. Uh, what you call it, MGRS mapping, or MGRS what you call this oh yeah, what's that word called already, the one, the GPS, sorry, is the GPS coordinates using MGRS. They have two alphabetical grids in the front one. Arma, you don't use it at all lah. But if you hear radio calls next time, you know it's Charlie Mike 0601 4835. You know it's a MGRS way of talking. Marked by Willie Pete. Willie Pete is white phosphorus. Is one of the acronyms they call it. Uh, for marking of targets, you have WP, which is Willie Pete, which is white phosphorus, or other words, white smoke lah. You use it for. It can be red smoke, but it's just smoke. When you call it Willie Pete, we will understand that it's smoke. You have laser, you have IR, you have uh, IR grenades and all that. So those are your marking, all right? There's another type of mark also later on. I just quickly brief. It's also called talk on, because sometimes you don't have a mark. You have to talk on to the pilot to give him directions to the mark. So that's called a talk on. Location of friendly, very important. Troops in contact. That means you guys are in contact. South of 1000, south 1000, meaning the troops is actually in contact south one click from the target. Okay, and you can also add in a position mark by blue smoke if you have lah. And then egress west to fort. That means you tell the pilot to get out of it for on the westward exit back to IP fort. Then it will say ready to copy remarks. So after the pilot say, you have to wait for the pilot, because the pilot is writing all these things down right now. Then when the pilot said ready to copy remarks, then only you tell him the remarks. Remarks is pretty much remarks lah. You can usually most remarks people will tell them to use what ordinance, use AGM, use guns. Also to inform him there is also a threat on the north side 500 meters, which is the Zeus or ZSU that's over there. Uh, you also tell the using the remark to tell the pilot to go into a final attack heading, which is a certain cone that he can goes into attack the thing and cannot get out of the cone because friendlies are too close. And you can also tell him that you have to be on the time to target. TOT is a time on target. You must be at a certain time. If all those are not necessary, you could just say remarks, use guns, and that's it. Full stop. That's it. All right. Any question on the line? Actually,
Yes, I got.
sure. Go with James first. James, I don't hear you.
Oh, okay. Go with Fisa. Okay. Just one question. Uh, what if the target is on the move, especially when they are not going to be in the same grid and they're heading somewhere? How do you actually report that?
Okay, that's a good question. You see, this is the nine line. Later on, there's a flow of the nine line between the JTAC communication with the planes or the aircrafts. So usually, sometimes later on, I'll just go through one time the script. You would notice that there are few things in between one when they go to the script. Let's say after the nine line is done, he's already taken down all the nine lines. Then the pilot would to move to the position and says he will say he will repeat that, like he will do a read back. Usually the read back is the grid, the elevation and the grid. So once you finish, let's say you finish the read back and all the remarks already, the pilot will say he will just repeat things like 40 meters, Charlie Mike 0610 0601 4835. then you will say good readback. That means he confirms that his readback and your information is correct. So then you say good readback. Then when you say good readback, then the pilot will say uh, contact contact on target. That means when he actually have eyes on the target itself, he said target contact or contact on target, contact on the target, or even I have visual on the target or whatever lah. But usually sometimes they just say contact. Then you can say contact IFV on the road. Then you said contact. You usually repeat the contact IFV on the road. So then you both are in sync already. Now, when he's on sync already, then what happens is later on, I'm kind of jumping ahead of the whole thing, but I'll give you the, the flow as it is also. He would say inbound IP right now. So he will tell you that you will know that he already reached IP and he's now in from the north or in from the south. That means he's coming into your target area already. When he say in, that means he's coming into the target. That's when you would say continue. Now, when you say continue means the target is still there. But if the target move, you would tell him stand by, target have moved. You would tell him that so that he would at least understand that the target have moved. Target is now located west 200 meters from point. So he will know at least it's not too far away, lah. Only 200. He will start to scan and he finds it. That's because, but if the target didn't move at all, he's still on the same spot. That's when you say continue. Then he will continue to go through. Then when he says, when he continues and he sees the target, he will call contact, ready for attack. That's when you clear him hot. But now let's say things can change also. The target don't move and he's coming in already. You continue. He continues to move to the target and he says, I have eyes on the target. He's going to attack already. You can say abort because suddenly out of the blue, friendlies go into the same area. So if you clear hot, then everything smooth lah. He will continue to weapons release and then off to the east or off to the west, and then you give the better damagement. That's when the communication between the JTAC and the pilot is very important to continue to clear hot or to abort. Okay.
Okay.
Achai, just now you said you have a question also.
Punya.
Kurnia, sorry. Apa tu?
Yang heading 040 tu, kita akan pesawat ikut bearing tu ke ataupun pesawat yang bagi arahan?
Ikut apa, sorry? You punya echo tadi. Apa you punya question lagi? Sekejap ah. Kurnia?
Hello?
Betul. Okay, what was your
Hello?
question? Ya, dengar. Sekarang.
Yang heading 040 tu,
Hmm.
kita arahkan pesawat pusing ikut bearing tu ke?
Ya, itu bearing pesawat, bukan you punya bearing tau. Bukan you bukan apa tu?
Kita nampak kita bagi semua ikut bearing tu.
You mesti bagi dia arahan untuk ikut bearing itu. That means you see kalau the pilot masuk dia punya IP kan, if let's say lah you mau dia just go straight and tembak pun boleh. Tapi let's say dia kat IP kan, dia masuk 040. Kalau you tak bagi dia tahu, dia mungkin pergi 090, then after 090 dia sampai satu tempat dia pusing atas lagi kan. So mungkin kat 090 dia ada air threat atau ada triple A tau. So kalau you tahu ada triple A kat sana, you mesti bagi dia tahu mana dia mesti pergi dia punya arah. Meaning kalau you sudah tahu dia punya map, you sudah tahu dia punya situation kat kanan, kat direct east tu ada satu triple A, dia punya northwest tu ada mungkin ada satu triple A ke, atau ada kita punya artillery punya mission kat sana. So you mesti bagi dia tahu dia tak boleh pergi 090 because sana ada triple A. Dia tak boleh pergi terus north pun because kita pun ada satu artillery punya mission kat sana. So you mesti bagi dia kau yang tempat dia punya macam punya jalan untuk masuk 040.
Okey, maknanya kalau kita nak kesan kedudukan pesawat kat atas udara tu macam mana?
So usually you sudah plan, you buka you punya map, you tahu you punya IP kat mana, you tahu punya target
Aha,
kat mana, dan you punya map pun ada triple A kat mana. You buatlah
aha.
satu, you bagilah dia satu macam satu path, satu perjalanan yang you mau dia pergi. So you buatlah satu macam satu garisan, you boleh tulis lah, you boleh lukis kat map ke apa garisan dia macam dia punya path kat sini, macam ni pun cantik.
Kira
Especially
saya buat dekat map orbit
ha?
Kalau dekat map tu saya pilih orbit dekat belah timur,
Orbit
belah kanan, kan?
yang I don't get the question. You punya apa tu? Sorry.
Okey, macam pesawat sekarang ni ada dekat orbit,
Ah,
orbit yang belah yang saya tadi dalam map tu kan?
ah,
Dia dengan pusing-pusing. Lepas tu baru dia dengan pusing, lepas tu kita arahkan dia gerak ke 0.0 lah. Nanti dia gerak ke 0.0 lah macam tu.
betul lah. Because dia orbit ke
Oh,
IP, dia
aha,
punya IP, dia punya starting point, initial point, dia punya starting point kat sana. So dia tak mungkin dia kat dia sekarang kat mungkin 1 km west of IP. Dia mungkin kat sana. Dia orbit
okey.
kat sana. Tapi you suruh dia pergi sampai IP Fort. That means dia akan make his way to IP Fort. That means earlier dia 2 km west of IP Fort lah. So now he's making his way to IP Fort. Bila dia sampai IP Fort, he have to make a 040 punya bearing from the IP.
Okay.
Then when he goes to the 040 punya IP, okay, you tengok like macam you tengok dia punya kat kiri punya. Itu case briefing kat kiri kan. You tengok dia punya the picture kat sana. Dia ada IP kat bawah kan. Then kat
Aha,
left side dia ada friendly artillery kan.
aha,
Okay. Mungkin pesawat tu ada kat location sekarang ada kat macam 1 km northwest, sorry, southwest of the IP, kat bawah. So you bagi IP Fort yang kotak yang segi segi empat punya kotak kat IP sana. Bila dia sampai kat sana, IP initial point, you tengok dia mesti pergi 040 tu. That is about 040. Sikit
mhm,
sikit kanan dari 040. So from there dia mesti pergi 040. Tapi ini ada offset right, so dia pusing lagi kanan sikit towards the target. So
okey.
bila you direct dia punya traffic, dia punya pesawat macam tu, dia akan masuk sana 040, and then bila dia 040, dia akan pusing uh, into the target.
Okey.
That means, oh, I think I understand your question. Nanti you kata 040, dia 040 dia pergi terus saja kan? Dia tak pergi
Itu
target.
maksud saya.
No. Bila dia sudah ada dia punya target, dia punya grid you dah bagi kan? So you bagi grid, dia tahu dia punya target kat mana dah. So
Aha, aha.
bila dia tahu dia target kat mana, tapi you punya initial point punya heading, you akan direct dia pergi kanan sikit.
Oh, ke kanan sikit.
So bila dia pergi kanan sikit, dia tahu dia pergi kanan sampai satu tempat yang dia akan belok kiri lagi. Then dia akan belok kiri, then from there dia akan masuk into the target.
Mhm.
I know what you mean. Now I know. Meaning you kata bagi 040 dia pergi, so 040 dia pergi terus saja. Dia off dia punya
Aha,
target dah. Tak ada. Dia punya heading is a offset punya heading. Initial point punya heading.
okey.
You boleh bagi dia terus lah. Dia bagi 360 heading dia. That means dari AIP dia 360 dia pergi terus sampai target pun boleh. Atau you boleh bagi
Aha.
dia 090, that means dia pusing kanan, then dia akan belok.
Okey, dia akan ikut kompas lah kan? Bagi kompas lah kan?
Betul. Tu kompas, tapi dia
Okey.
punya bearing bukan you punya bearing ah. Uh,
Okey, tahu.
Aircraft punya bearing.
Aircraft dia boleh pergi faham.
Okay? Any questions?
Okay, one question, Gadget.
Sure.
This nine line one we have here is just for one target. Just in case if there's like multiple targets but they are spread out, do we include it in all one nine line or we'll separate it?
Okay. Good question again. That's upcoming. That is the same 9 line, but it's a different type of control. That's why just now I said type 1, type 2, type 3. Multiple targets will be a type 3 control. I'll tell you in
Okay.
detail. Okay. Any more questions for this?
Gadget.
Sure.
Say if we are in a rush and the enemies are coming closer, can we just say like simple north to west heading like that instead
Yes.
of bearing?
Yes, you can. Usually, what happens is this. This is the full nine line. Okay, this is the one that when you have a full nine line and you are the master, you have a good planning. Now, when the shit hits the fan, or even before the shit hits the fan, if you want, sometimes the the nine line can be shortened to you heard before a five line lah. Uh, Usually helicopters and all that can be a five line only because helicopters or rotary aircraft dia tak payah IP tau because they already hovering so they don't have to have a start point. So a lot of times when you use rotary punya nine line, they will usually just they will go through this and this is the flow. One line 1 2 3 4 and dia akan kata 1 2 3 4 NA. You will hear sometimes people say NA, not applicable. So
Mm.
sometimes they'll say 1 2 3 4 not applicable, or usually they say NA lah. 1 2 3 4 NA. IFV on the road. That means straight away you masuk to line 5 already. Okay? 1 2 3 4 NA. IFV on the road 06014835. Marked by Willie Pete. Then you already shorten it banyak already. Alright? That's
Alright.
one way. Now, the other way is when the shit really hits the fan. When everything goes to hell, then you start into a pretty much a free flow already, which I did also at one time dengan MK. When the shit hits the fan, it's pretty much free flow, danger close. I do want you to lay it on me, lay it on me. Macam tu lah, you pernah dengar lah. Or you just said the basic stuff. Position of friendly, marked by blue smoke. Enemies currently is 700 meters west of blue smoke. Take it out, something like that. Then you free flow, but at least you ada dia punya once you understand the key information that is important for the pilot to quickly get eyes on what you need to do, then it's good. Like I
Alright.
said, like I said lah, you tak payah ikut semua. You say my position marked by blue smoke. Enemies danger close 300 meters on northeast of my position. Take it out. Then they say, are you sure? Take it out, man. Lay it on me. That's when you all get, because 300 meters is bloody close for any close air support.
Alright.
So that's how you that's the kelang kabut part lah. But at least you janganlah kelang kabut to the point. Take it out. You know, enemy shooting at me. On right, the house, putih punya rumah kat sana, putih punya rumah. Apalah. Panic aku. I said,
Nampak.
biasa. You know we get that crap all the time kan. Then the worst thing in the other is enemy is firing me from the White House. First thing I say, who the hell is this? You don't even call your call sign now. So main thing is that you call Reaper 1-1. This is Delta 1-1. Uh, Position of my position is marked by blue smoke. Then okay lah. At least you sometimes they shout on the radio. I have no idea who is shouting also because call sign itself also was missing. That's very common when kita semua panic. That's why one of the pilots, the real pilot, the JTAC, they mesti one of the most balls of steel, man. They are very, very, apa cakap? They are very, yeah, I like their style also actually. I just found it. Why not, man? Anyways, yeah, they are very calm. You notice, and sometimes you think the one that habis one is the Vietnam punya movies, who when they call the fire, they under fire by everywhere. The JTAC on the Vietnam punya, gila, they were just screaming on the phone. All right. Anything further? If not, I go into the next slide. Okay, is a sample Medivac line. Now, I'm not going to go in detail because Medivac itself is a completely different line. It gets very confusing if you ask me lah. But I leave this sample Medivac line for those who are interested to take a look. In game, I usually use the same line just to get the aircraft to the position and just dapat. But one important thing for Medivac, even if you use the other 9 line, is to inform how many patients are down. Because why? If I'm far away at base, I either have a little bird or I could actually have a Chinook or a Black Hawk. So if let's say you have only one man down or two men down, I may actually bring a little bird just to come and get you guys out of there. But if you are 6 men down or upper, then I have to consider bringing the Black Hawk. So sometimes when you're calling a 9 line for medevac, important is to inform how many, what they call it, of course, the location of pickup, radio frequency, and all that. But you notice in the medevac 9 line number of patients. But for our purpose, we just use number of patients lah. Because in real life, they also ask what kind of extract you want. Dia ada macam they call it a litter, litter, it's like a basket they will lower down from the hoist to carry atas. So they need to bring the litter, they need to bring some equipment, ropes ke apa semua. That's why the 9 line in the medevac in detail punya, they are quite side different. Some of them to the point whereby kat bawah tu 9 line tu this NBC is the part whereby it's called the nuclear apa lah. It's mainly nuclear contamination punya lah. So they need to also bring in proper apa tu. I think kita punya Arma medical ada tau, atrophonim I think. The injection antrophonim or something like that is for
Atropine.
entropine or something. That's for biological warfare punya, macam biological warfare punya morphine tau, or the epi tau. So for medevac sometimes they need to know whether is kena Scud missile tu, kena apa tu bio warfare, then they have to bring the right medicine or the right equipment. So that's why medevac ada sikit lain, but this is just for your extra info. But kita punya purposes kita guna yang biasa and just add in to say that we have berapa patient je, that's it. Okay. Now next one. Okay, now next one is the next section is actually in the one important section. James, when you said how do we control if multiple and all that? Now in JTAC there's three major types of CAS call. There's type 1, type 2, and type 3. In this slide, after the Medivac 9 line brief card, the next slide you will notice. I won't go through. I try to cut this down because it looks like quite interesting. We are passing the 2 hour mark already. This one basically just tells you on the left side is a graph on how the call will come in. The type 1 control is a control whereby the JTAC has a visual on the target. At the same time, JTAC has a visual on the aircraft itself. And that's when you call a type 1. Okay. So when the JTAC has visual on the BTR kat the AO, and he knows that he basically the visual on the aircraft means by the time the aircraft comes for an attack, he can see the aircraft. Right now he can't see the aircraft. The aircraft is maybe 9 miles or 9 clicks kilometers away. He won't be able to see the aircraft, but he can see the target, and nothing is obstructing him from the visual of the aircraft when it's coming. Most likely from an OP lah. Yeah, up a hill there, he's observing everything. He can see everything. Then you call a type 1 control. Okay, so the type 1 control, if you look at the left side, is actually a illustration of what I mentioned on the 9 line tadi. IP Plymouth is where he's going to start, and then he's going to go 360 degrees on the offset right to ingress into the target. Then you will see a final attack heading, which is the cone I mentioned. That's where the target is about grid 367971. And then above the target, there is a ZSU, one click north of the target is an air threat ZSU. At the same time, they also have kita punya friendly artillery hitting the. So you see that whole scenario there. On the right side is the flow. I'll just go through the flow sekali, and then after that you get an understanding. You can read it again and get an understanding. Now I will start from the point whereby it says JTAC. Now, so IP Plymouth and there's A10s on station, right? So JTAC will say, you boleh nampak tak? The fonts boleh tak?
Yeah.
Okay, JTAC says Dragon 3.1. This is Icebox 1.1. This will be a Type 1 control advice when ready for 9 line. That means the apa tu Dragon 1.1 is the plane, Icebox is the JTAC. Dragon will now uh, be calling in ready for 9 line lah. Okay, and he will know it's a Type 1 control. Type 1 control means he knows that you will be able to see me and you can see the target. That means, in other words, why is Type 1 is important is that he will be expecting changes, because when you can see the target, mungkin you will call me to abort or you call me to dry run ke apa, because like you say lah, the either the target have moved or enemy has masuk. Sorry, friendly have masuk. If the friendly enter the area that's hot, you may call me to abort. So I would expect that because I know it's a Type 1. Okay, so now attack aircraft will go and say Icebox 1.1 Dragon 3.1 ready to copy. Then that's when you will start, because now I have my notepad with me, and usually I have my laminated card and a whiteboard marker. I will just write down the things that you tell me. So when you tell me this, the JTAC will say Plymouth. Again, you notice that flow, I'll go through the flow as it is, because that you will know that it's line 1, line 2, line 2. So JTAC will say Plymouth 360 right, 9.1, 350, platoon of infantry dug in. Charlie Mike 367971, Willie Pete or White Prosperous, South 900, troops in the contact, troops in contact, egress east to Dodge, advise when ready for remarks. That's when you will always hear a JTAC go through this kind of thing. Acai will tahu, because I think Kurnia pun tahu, because kalau you main DCS, kita main punya JTAC, this is the thing that actually will tell you. That's when I'll be scribbling, writing everything. Then I will take all this information, I'll key into the DCS punya A10 punya computer, and then from there I will slew my lantern, which is the optics, and I can see the target. Then I will follow through also. This is what the pilot does lah. So now, what it is quickly you can see Plymouth, got the left side, you see that's the IP. 360 right, that means he's going to night, macam Kurnia tadi you cakap, kalau 360 tu yang heading dia lah, that means dia naik terus atas, right? He's moving bearing 360, tapi ada right tau, so dia akan pergi kanan sikit. That's where the final attack heading punya cone you nampak. Okay, so there's 360 right, because you know he's going to go that way, tapi dia akan pusing kanan sikit, because there is also conflicting of artillery. Actually the artillery is coming from the left side, not the top side. Ini salah dah. Okay, and then 9.1 is the distance between the whole entire thing. That means from IP until the target. You notice on the graph there, 9.1 km, and then 9.1 is target sampai IP. 9.1 350 is the that's the elevation. You tengok elevation kat target kat on the left side, 350 meters. 350 is elevation. Platoon of infantry dug in, that's the target lah. That means dia punya platoon of infantry kat dia punya bunker kat dalam. Charlie Mike 367971, that's the grid of the target itself. White Prosperous or Willie Pete, that means you will be shooting either your grenade ke, atau ada orang akan mark it with white smoke. South 900, troops in contact. You look at the target 900 south, that's where you guys are friendly. Okay, egress east to Dodge, that means from after that they akan egress. There you look at the line, the egress kat kanan, that means it's going to move east, and then there will be another IP kata Dodge. So now ready for remarks. So moving down there, I would say attack aircraft angkat sana. You look after the advice when ready for remarks. Attack aircraft ready to copy remarks. Then JTAC will say this: final attack heading 285 to 330. That is what it means by, you see the cone up there, final attack heading 285 330. That means that is the cone that the aircraft can go into and fight. Because you know why? Kanan sikit is friendly dah. So he doesn't want you to go and come into a direction whereby you can conflict dengan friendly. Okay, so you will see final attack heading 285330, ZSU 23 for north 1000. That means you tell you that atas ada the triple A kat sana. And continuous suppression gun line 045. That one is telling you that there is a continuous suppression on guns. That means artillery at gun line dia punya is 045. That one, honestly, I'm just putting here for your extra info, but hardly we use it in Arma lah. It just tells you there is continuous artillery from 045. Report when IP inbound. That means once you reach the IP, I have to call in the IP to the JTAC. Then he knows that I'm coming in already. Okay, report from IP inbound. Then the attack aircraft will just do a readback. 350 Charlie Mike 367971 final attack heading 285330. Then you will say the JTAC will say read back correct, time on target 50. So you confirm dia punya info dengan the aircraft punya info, your info is accurate, you can read back correct. Then aircraft will say Roger, TOT 50. 50 means within 50 minutes or 50 seconds he has to make sure that he get to the time on target ready. All right, now right now when the aircraft is flying and any prior to any release of weapon, this is where he will start to call in the IP inbound already. That means when he reached the IP, he will say IP inbound or Dragon 31 IP initial point or IP inbound lah. That's when Dragon 11 will say continue. That's where James, you know, since it took him almost 3 minutes or 5 minutes to get to IP or to take all these things down, by the time he reached to IP, things have changed. If things didn't change, you would, as a JTAC, James, just now you mentioned, you will say continue. Then
Okay.
when I reach IP, I know I'm about nine clicks already. For a 810, getting across 9 km is quite fast one. That's when you said Mark is on the deck. When the reason why I say IP inbound also, that's when you will release the smoke lah. If you release early, by the time I get there, the smoke habis also tak boleh mah. So that's why when I call IP inbound, then you know, then you let go the smoke. Or you can time it nicely that you agak-agak IP is 9 km, he probably take another 1 minute before he reach to the 4th km. You agak-agak, then when you count 1 minute, you let go smoke pun boleh. Okay, so Mark on contact, which one is Mark is on the deck. Then the aircraft, when I see your smoke, I will say contact the Mark. Then from the JTAC, he will say from the Mark south 100. That's when you are telling what you call this from the smoke, because your smoke may not be accurate. You can say the smoke is too far. You say south 100 from the smoke, so I know that it's slightly south 100 meters from the smoke lah. Okay, where am I right now? Yes, and then when I see the smoke, I already say contact Mark from the Mark south 100. That's when I say Dragon 31 in from the east. That's when I'm coming from the attack final heading already. When I call it in, means it's the point of commitment already lah. Once I in already, I must commit already. Either you quickly said abort before I go in and commit, you say abort, or you said cleared hot. When you say cleared hot, I'm committing already. I'm going in and I'm going to take it out already. If friendly masuk that time, that's either you shout abort. If I'm on time, I can abort. Kalau tak ada, you probably get a lot of friendlies lah. And when I'm finished, I'll say when I clear hot, I finish already. I pickle. I said either I call it rifle or pickle or guns. You know. And then I said Dragon 3-1 off two away. Yeah, this one means is off two away means he fired 2 missiles lah. Dragon 3-1 off 2 away. That means he fired 2 Hellfires or Mavericks or something like that. Then the JTAC will say Dragon 3-2 leads hits west 100. That means my target is slightly west 100. That means I tak kena tau. So that's why this is where the BDA. If I kena means good hits. Kalau tak kena, you could say lead hits west 100. That means I hit west 100, I will have to adjust again if I come. All right. Then Dragon 3-2 in from the southwest. I will come in for the second roll, and I will adjust fire and I'll kill. And below that, actually, there are some more that says good hits, mission complete, targets destroyed, egress east to apa tu? This one is I'll call it the return to IP Plymouth lah, macam tu. So that's the whole flow of Type 1. You pretty much know the whole flow already. Nothing to it. Senang kan?
Gadget, in the
Yep.
list there's a Dragon 3-2, that's the second gen, is it?
Yes, actually, you're right. Is let me see. There's Dragon 131. Yes, actually, you're right. This in this case, there's a two A10s on station. The first one went in and is on the right. What you saw just now is his lead hit. That's why it's a lead hit west to the 100. Then the second 3-2 is coming in. You're right. He can quickly adjust from the lead plane's offset. Then he will get the second time.
So the JTAC always only report to the lead of that unit, this Dragon 3-1 is the something like actual, and then the rest of his guys are on the JTAC as well.
Yes, usually you contact to the lead aircraft 3-1, and 3-2 usually talks to 3-1 unless, let's say in this case, 3-1 has moved on. Well, basically he's not talking to you, he's just reporting his in also. So he says 3-2 in from the southwest, he comes in, he can adjust fire from the lead's offsets.
Okay, but how this is a bit, I think, getting complex. If he got 3-1 and 3-2, right? When you send a JTAC request, do you actually state like you need all two to attack,
Uh,
or actually there was a
no,
okay,
usually what you do is you just talk to 3-1. 3-1 will coordinate with 3-2. Don't worry about that,
okay,
right? Because that's his wingman or his element lead. He will manage that. You don't have to worry about
okay.
3-2. All right. If 3-1 dies, and then of course 3-2 becomes lead lah. Okay. Next slide. JTAC must the Type 1 control again, like I said, for Type 1 you must be able to visually identify. You send a 9-line, and then you verify all the targets at this. Just now I already mentioned. The aircraft would usually read back line 4 and 6 only, and any restrictions. He won't go through the whole thing. He will usually talk about the line 4, which is the elevation. Line 6 is the grid. Any restrictions. But if they, let's say you 1 2 3 4 and A, he will just tell you the grid. Usually that's what we do like Arma, because we don't want to take too long. Kita just repeat the grid. You kata good read back, kita jalan. Then the JTAC usually will give a verbal description on a talk on, or how to guide him directly to the mark upon getting closer. And then aircraft will call in IP inbound. JTAC will designate it with marks, and then they will do the weapons release. Then you as a JTAC will look at the target mark, and then look at the aircraft, and then make sure that there's you know where the enemy, I mean the friendly forces are. Give it the clear hot or give it an abort, and then give a BDA. That Type 1. Okay. Type 1 also, if you next slide, you see the remarks. Remarks usually will use what kind of weapons you want him to deploy. You will tell what are the threats around the area, and also to give remarks on your friendlies, marked by what, marked by which, by either strobe lights or usually smoke or anything that can see that it's friendly lah. Then of the other restriction, you have a time on target. Between this time to this time, you must be there already, else things will start to change. Danger close, you must tell him that danger close, troops are in contact, is very close. And then restrictions is the airspace lah, jangan masuk sini sana. Alright, moving to Type 2. Now I won't go through the whole thing because Type 1 is the main thing already. Type 2 is exactly the same as Type 1 actually. The only difference is this. For Type 2, JTAC cannot visual the target and cannot visual there's no visibility on the aircraft. When you can't do that, basically you are unable to guide. That's why you call it a Type 2 control. For one good example is that you are with platoon lead, and then squad alpha is almost, let's say, 700 meters in front of you, behind some buildings, and he saw some armor coming, and he's calling like nobody's business. Armor is inbound, and he's requesting for a CAS. Now you know that the armor is coming in the position of squad alpha, and it's north 200 meters, and squad alpha has given you the location. You will be able to plot in the grid, but you cannot see it. Then you call it type 2, because you are relying on squad alpha's information. So when the pilot comes in and understand that it's a type 2, he may just commit, because he may not hear abort or whatever, because you don't even know whether you should abort or not. So he has to be a lot more careful to make sure that he eyeballs the friendly and all that, so he knows. So now the process of it is the same thing, other than the front part is got this this what you call it, Enfield 11, this Desta 16. This will be a type 2 in control in effect, then you know it's a type 2. Okay, type 1, type 2 summer, but type 3 will be the different one. Now there's one similarity of type 1 and type 2, very clear similarity, is that type 1 and type 2, the control is every single pass you must get a clear hot. That means type 1 and type 2, you go through one time already, you second time you must masuk again, you must ask for clear hot. You cannot go and whack as you want. So the JTAC controls every single pass. That's type 1 and type 2. Moving to type 3, next one. Type 3 is the most flexible one. Type 3 is where you as a JTAC cannot visual the target and cannot visual the aircraft. In other words, this is a area that is totally far away, like maybe even 10 kilometers away, or even that's where you get some reports that are coming in from. Maybe you have a squad over there, somehow it's like 5 km away. Your squad is telling you he has eyes, or you get a sniper recon unit that's calling the JTAC that he's in a certain area, nampak the MSR has a convoy of enemies. You have no idea, you cannot see where it is, but you know all the grids and everything. Then you call a type 3 in control. Type 3 control in effect, meaning you allow the aircraft to go to that site, and you give him a general, you go through the same procedure, the description, the grid, everything, and then you lepaskan dia. That means once he calls in, he's in full control. He can repeat the attack. He can come back and kill the whole entire convoy. It's up to the aircraft already. So he is in full control of how many times he want to pass until he finish his Winchester on all his ammo, or until you call it and say, disengage. I need you to RTB at this moment. Otherwise, he's on his own. So for James, your question, this one, he can go and do multiple contacts. He can clear the entire area. His discretion. Okay? Question.
So basically, type 2 is the JTAC is giving the directions for the target, but he cannot give any further information lah.
That's a firm. Mungkin there's also,
Not as detailed as type 1, right?
correct. The type 1 is the most detailed. He can see, he can guide, he can control everything. Type 2, he has limited control. He knows the general position. He could be even kat dalam bunker, like, it could be on his own position. Tapi he's not looking out, because there's no way you guys are getting full suppression and all that. You cannot even stick your head out. You are under some sort of a bunker or in a building or anything. You will call type 2 already.
Right.
Question 1, 2, 3. The question 1, 2, 3. Move to the next slide. It's just pretty much a what you call that, revision of what I mentioned already. Type 1, spot the target. To do all that, you must assess the terrain, assess the threats, make sure you give the grid, designate IP, you determine the heading, everything. 1, 2, and 3, you have to do the same procedure, but 1, you spot the target. 2 and 3, you learn about the target by other means, meaning from either recon team or by other aircrafts or by other squad members or other intel. You learn it by other means which you cannot see. Uh, so you use type 2 or 3. Type 3 is an area engagement. Type 1 and type 2 is point targets. That means one target every time. Okay?
Alright.
Now, the next few slides, I won't go through it. You read it because I already mentioned it. This is just to tell you the whole flow, which if you want later on, we go out into practical, you should go through this flow. You should go Texas 17, this Windows 61. Then I will call in, you proceed. But this is a more detailed one. Later we go and do, we follow this flow. Tapi it's not so detailed as this where you got VDL codes 47. VDL is like the laser code from the what you call it is visual device laser codes on the A10s and all that. So each code has a different what you call this code and all that. So this is a very detailed. This is an extraction from an actual CAS joint document, which the U.S. Air Force uses it. It's good for you to read. It's quite fun if you're interested in it. It gives you the entire flow to the end. Okay, move to the slide that says don't do this. Okay, don't do this, very simple lah. Like I said, really by right we shouldn't call it line 1, line 2, line 3, line 1 IP4, line 2. By right it should just be IP4 375. But it's okay lah. I mean, it's not going to be. We are not in the real Air Force lah. We are in Arma lah. So if you want to make it easy for you, call it line 1. Go ahead. I think the MEU virtual team, they stick to the thing like nobody's business. They really follow procedure lah. There are people who really says do not do this in their games. Tapi kita party. Okay, the other thing we shouldn't do is 1900 or 1900 or something like that. You should call it by the numbers itself, 190 or 1900. Usually JTAC or forward observers or even recon and all that. They don't call it like 1900, 1900. They go by each digit, 1900 or 1900. That's the right way to do it. Um, the other one is line 1 IP forward break, line 2 heading 360 break. Don't say the break because uh, we're supposed to get through it ASAP. And likewise, target location. This what it means is that what it just means is that in real life, usually they don't call it target location 040 312. That means there shouldn't even be a pause lah. What you usually say, ready for grid. This will be a 6 grid 040 312 straight through. Because sometimes when you break, the pilot will kind of get confused whether the next one is actually a heading or a grid, because there could be a heading 312 or it's actually part of a grid. So if you don't break 040312, very clear it's a grid. All right. Uh, that's it. I think the other two is pretty much an exercise. The talk on is, if you look at the talk on is just simple. Literally, I will guide you step by step as a JTAC upon your contact. That means if I'm there, I say, do you see a MSR on the let's say I'm facing east on this map, and then there's a MSR north, and then there's a ASR, which is alternate supply route. There's a smaller route on the slightly south of it. I will give you a talk on. I will say Viking 11. This is Death Star 11. You see MSR right, I mean north of my position. You see the MSR yang Jalan Besar tu. Then you say contact MSR. I said now south 100 meters. There is a ASR contact. You said. So I will tell you from the ASR. There's a small town west of it. You say contact. From that small town east, you will see a petrol station. That means I'll talk on to guide you step by step to a very precise target and how you're going to notice a motorcycle in between an alley. That's what they use by talk on to move the pilot to really go into a very specific, into like a bicycle on a small little alley. Also, the talk on will guide you towards that way by using this method. Okay, that's it for the theory part. Now, thank you very much for the theory. Now, You guys masih, yeah, you guys want to go ada masa ke, or you want to call it quits? Those who wants to go, I still okay to go to the range there to do one or two.
Geser, ada soalan.
Soalan, go ahead.
Okey, nak tanya sebab banyak sampel ni untuk agency kan, so banyak untuk penerbangan, so dia ada IP relation point dengan ingress kan. So
Yeah.
pasal auto helikopter, attack helikopter dia macam mana, dia ada ingress juga?
Okay. Tadi yang earlier part of the course when I said that dia punya IP is mainly for fixed wing, kapal terbang. For helicopter, usually it's called a BP, better position. So BP kan most of the time is just a set point kat satu tempat yang most likely kat belakang bukit ke
Okay.
or something like that. I will put a square box macam tu, and I'll call it BP Alpha or something like that. So there's a better point Alpha. That's where the helicopter akan singgah lah. Dia akan hover sana. So it's different from the aircraft because aircraft can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be IP. Aircraft boleh kat mungkin satu klik north of IP. But when you start your run, dia mesti sampai IP and that's where they start. So helikopter lain sikit. Helikopter IP mungkin dekat sikit, mungkin belakang apa tu bukit and all that. By right it should be called BP lah. Tapi kita kat Arma pun sometimes we call it IP pun boleh lah.
Oh, dia ada stroke BP tu, ada better point. Tapi dia
Yes.
sering pakai line-line juga lah.
Okay. Usually kat helikopter dia ada satu line punya which is called a five line. Again like I said, dia macam Medivac ada satu 9 line, helikopter ada 5 line. The basic info kat 5 line helicopter sama tau. Dia punya information is also in the 9 line. Tapi dia tukar dia punya line tau. Alamak, I tengok so for the purpose of that means orang yang in real life helicopter pilot tau. Kita kat AMA, kita tank pilot, helicopter pilot, kita apa pun kita naik mah. So by right kita akan confused because if you are a helicopter pilot, you just memorize 5 line which is different from the 9 line. But for our purpose, sama you boleh buat 5 line. Like I said, dia punya 9 line, line 1, 2, 3, 4, kita boleh kata NA. 1, 2, 3, that means that when you start the 9 line, ready for 9 line, ready to take 9 line. 1, 2, 3, 4, NA. You cakap NA, line 1, 2, 3, 4 sudah is not applicable. That means sampai
Tapi line 1 still applicable lah sebab dia ada GP.
tak payah, tak payah.
GP.
You see for helicopter, usually you are BP dah. Because you singgah kat sana dah. You kan singgah dah. Usually JTAC will say, I need you to move to BP, I need you to move to BP Alpha. So you pergi sana, you tunggu sana aja. So but from BP Alpha, later on ready for 9 line, you just say grid from is obviously you are coming from BP already. You tak payah ada tukar-tukar. Unless dia flexible sikit lah. Mungkin there are times that you need to move the BP, then you bagi lagi satu IP. Kat BP, then maybe north 500 meter you create satu baru punya IP Dragon ke apa. So from BP you kata okay, I need you to move IP Dragon. Then you kata line Dragon 234 NA macam tu boleh. Dragon 234 NA. You tak payah cakap dia punya elevation semua lah. So straight away from Dragon, that means you know IP Dragon, straight away masuk dia punya grid dah. Or dia punya description. Sorry, description.
Heading boleh bagi tahu juga lah kan.
Ha?
Kalau heading masih boleh bagi tahu lah straight ke target kan.
Boleh. Most of these guides saja. Like I said just now tadi we were talking dengan siapa dia I think was with Kurnia ke Biskut when the shit hits the fan. Apa pun jadah, as long you get the right information, dia punya line semua jumble up pun tak apa, as long the you know where your friendly is, your mark, you punya smoke, you punya enemy punya grid kat mana, you give general direction, cukup dah.
Okay.
Alright, semua masih larat tak?
Yep.
Kalau larat, let's go to the teleport. Teleport there, go to JTAC. Jom. Acai kat tengah. Tak boleh lari lah. Okay. Okay guys, go to your weapons, get the grenadier. Okay. Dah dapat grenadier, come to the ATV kat sini. ATV sini is the inventory arsenal. Arsenal, I need you guys to angkat long range radio. Okay, change to your long range radios. When you take your long range radio, next thing you need to do is change your binoculars to laser designator. Okay. And then you punya vest. Biskut. You belum. Okay. Angkat arsenal sekarang. You baru masuk kan? You baru teleport. Okay. You pergi teleport. You pergi to crate sana and then choose grenadier. Tak ada. Siapa yang baru masuk tu?
Eric.
Oh, Eric. Aku.
What do I need to choose?
You go to the crates over there. The crates. The crates there. Not the ATV, not the crates.
The crates.
Okay.
The crates. Choose grenadier.
Okay, then go to the
arsenal. All 3 ATVs are arsenal. You boleh all the 3 also sama.
What do I need to take from the
arsenal? Take your long range radio.
Okay, is there a difference between the large and the small long range?
Yes, the small long range you just don't have any much space lah. The large one is like a backpack. Now you should take the large because you need to carry grenades.
I see. Okay.
The small one you may not fit grenades inside. Okay. Take your long range radio. Then after that, go to the binoculars. Important, take the laser designator. Actually, I would go through Vector 21 and Micro Dagger with you. Tapi lama lah that one. Another training that will probably take another half an hour just to understand how to use it. Tapi with the Micro Dagger and the Vector 21, immediately you can get your grids and your elevation and all that already of the target. Okay, then go to your backpack and just fill up with red smokes and blue smokes, as well as hand grenade blue also. Hand grenades use blue. That's it. All you need is that, basically. Okay, when everybody ready, can follow me. You guys mau naik atas tak? Atas boleh nampak lah. Kalau tak mau kat sini sandbag pun boleh nampak a few. Let's stick with the sandbag first lah. Naik atas tu mau naik tangga lagi 5 minit. Okay, take out your laser designators. Now, if you look over there, let me just get some right bearings. Bearing 326. Range approximately 423. I think that's. Oh, wait a minute. You tak boleh guna? Dapat. You punya range boleh jalan tak? Laser.
Ambil bateri.
Bateri kat. Ada. I think tak payah bateri boleh kan? Boleh tak?
600 meter.
Dapat. Boleh ah? Semua boleh dapat ranging ah. Tak payah battery
Yeah.
kan?
Got it.
Okay.
I think need
So,
battery, right?
the battery, then you go back to the ATV and just go into the what you call that, the multiple magazines and get the batteries from there. Mine seem to be working. Those who cannot
Yeah,
work,
mine will, because I got a. Oh,
Eric.
Macam mana nak tengok range lah?
uh, yeah. Sekejap ada orang panggil.
so you use the crosshair, put onto the target. The top two, you press button kiri.
Button apa?
Mouse button kiri.
Dekat mouse. Tengok dekat laut tu nanti dia jauh.
Okay, part 2 potong.
Altitude 21.
One.
Okay. You guys okay or not from the laser point?
Alright.
Okay, laser point at the 323. There's I think it's a BDRM, which is a BTR dengan satu turret kat sana punya. I think you get it. Yes, that's right. Everybody's there already. You see that?
There's two vehicle, right?
Yes, there's two vehicle there,
Yeah.
and the one that is, yes, everybody's on target right now. James, Biscuit semua kat sana already. So there's one on the left, which is the one that you guys are pointing. Then James, you move, or everybody move slightly to the right side. You will see another vehicle there, which is more another BDRM.
A tank, is it on the right?
Now that the far right one, James, that's a tank. There's a center one also. All right.
Okay,
So
the
that's
one
three.
down below it.
And then your far right on the, how you said, the tank far right, there are some troops in the open also.
Correct. Yeah,
Nampak?
got them. And there's another friendly jeep, is it? No, it's not friendly.
They are all enemy lah. But there's a whole bunch of stuff there lah. Basically, I think let's just target the one that's furthest and on top of the ridge line there. That is actually skylining for you guys. So the one that who wants to go first? I'll guide. Let's say one try first. Then after that, I'll call in for the fire, and right now I'll voice act as the, what you call this, the pilot. We don't have to follow exactly lah. Just pretty much get the right thing, then we got him ready. Okay.
Grid.
Siapa tu? Grid? That's why. Grid, you have to lace there. That's why this one tak ada dia punya micro dagger, and dia tak ada vector 21. You have to agak-agak that thing you see there 400 meters, and then you got to open the map, and then you know the bearing kat sana. Okay, let me come out. Kejap I keluar. Teach you guys one trick. Okay, I teach you one trick. You go back to the ATV and you angkat map tools. Look for map tools at the plus signs there.
Map tools already, right?
Map tools cukup lah for now. Okay, let's all focus on one of the target. Now, if you take the laser designator, and if we all look at the target that is bearing 236, 326, my correction, 326, range at 424, yang BTR yang ada satu turret ke atas, BDRM. That means the one that is the far left that's ridge lining. Nampak tak?
Yep, nampak.
Okay, you know it's 326 0424, which is and the elevation is 2.29 kan. So you see that in your rangefinder already. Because you see that, now you get out from your rangefinder, you book up map. And you don't turn around, you just, if you book up your map, for this map is senang because dia ada blue force tracker. You nampak kita punya biru kan?
Yep.
Yes.
Now, you look at the compass. The compass is facing where you are facing right now. Betul tak? So you
Yep.
drag the compass to where your position is. Okay, when you drag your compass to where your position is, the cover of the compass is pointing where you are facing. You know, you get what I mean?
The cover, not the
No.
off sign.
No, because you see the compass just shows north, west, east, south,
Okay.
right? But the cover changes. The pointer, that
Yeah,
little
okay.
thin line points. That one is pointing exactly what you are looking at actually. All right.
Okay.
So you know you are looking at that direction. Now you know you are looking at that direction is 0326, and now you need to know the distance lah. So the distance just now is 424. If you book out your map tools, that means you control and your Windows. You bought show
Okay.
Align to
map
compass,
tools.
right?
You align to come. Or what you do is you take that maps and you. This one besar. I try to open the small one.
Even the small one is bigger.
Yeah. This is a small map, man.
It's smaller than the other one. It's also big lah. Bloody hell, this map is kecil habis. Okay, you drag that thing and put the center circle onto where your blue force tracker is. Then that is quite aligned. You get it? Then the thing won't move,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Now then you press Control and your right button and move it to tadi 342.
342. Is it the bearing or the
It's sorry, alternate. Yeah,
326? Is it the bearing?
just you move the alternate to change the map tools, right? To move the thing the radial to 3. Tadi apa? 326 ke 34?
326. 326.
326. Move it to 326.
So what button should I press?
Alt and then right. Alt. Continue to press down Alt. Move your
Okay,
mouse on
right.
the and then right mouse. Left mouse click and just move it around. You can see it rotate. You get it?
Nice. Yep.
Okay.
I need
Now
that.
rotate it to 326. You see 320, 325, and then the center one is 325. Move it to 326 only.
Alright.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now you know that is the direction. What you could do is, you just put a marker around the area, just like the shift right mouse on the marker on the same line. I show you. I just put a marker on it. Like
Yep, got it. It's a left button.
so now you have the marker there. Okay. So you know the marker there is a straight line across. All right. So you take the map tools now and you drag it to the point whereby yang kat dalam punya, you see inside there's macam ruler kan. There's an outer ruler and an inner ruler. The inner
The
ruler
what?
yang the smaller numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sampai 10 tapi kecil sikit, a smaller one. Alright.
Okay.
And then what you do is just now it's about 400 meters, right? So you put about 4 at your place and then you see where is 0 lah. Then you know that. Do you see my mark? The mark down here.
Dari situ.
Oh wait, actually, I use the map tool ruler, right, to measure from my starting point to the.
Yeah, you use the map tools to put it. Okay, everybody's on global channel. You can see it. Just now, all you need to do is this one because you got blue force circle is easy. Then you take the map tools and you put it our position into the middle. All right, and then you
0, 0, right?
0, 0. That means you put the center of that map tool, the little hole there, and like a round circle. You put that where our position is. Then
Okay, yeah.
Alt and rotate the radial to 2326. Yep, I think most of you
Yep.
guys got it. You got it ready. All right. And when
Okay.
you rotate there, now you need to know the distance because you have a straight line from where you are only, but the exact position is a distance. So the distance tadi kita tahu is about 400 lah, about 400 meters. So now you take the map tools and you just drag the map tools to the ruler there, the inner ruler, and you put 4 on your position. You get what I mean? 4 in position, and you find where 0 is. So that's your, that means here.
Yes.
Here. You see it?
Okay, my inner ruler. Okay, that's the straight one, is it?
Yeah, the straight one. Yeah, you see your map tools. If you zoom out, there's a big ruler outside, and then there's smaller ones inside. The big one
The
shows
L1.
0, the inner side, the inner part of it.
Okay,
Get it?
which got like 10 count one, right? From 0
Correct,
to 10.
correct.
Okay. So
Now,
I put the 4 in my marker.
because this one is angled that way, that 4 is on the bottom, right?
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah.
so you put 4 there,
So
you know
the
it's
0
400.
is where the target is.
That's right.
I see, okay, okay.
You get it? So now when you use the map tools, you know that just now the inner ruler, each dot is 100 meters,
Okay.
right? And then the outer one big dot, one big one is 1 kilometer. So now that you have a bearing line and you know the distance, you can triangulate the area which is here. And then when you put your cursor over it, you got your grid lah. And you saw just now there's
Mm.
two point something meter. Now it's 031,018. That's right. So 031,018 is your grid. 33 is your elevation. And then if you counter back with your laser designator, it more or less tally lah. So now you got your grid, you got your elevation, you have to set an IP. Up to you. I leave you guys to set an IP, or I tell you what, so many of us, I will set an IP lah. All right. Let's say
I'll get it. That's another thing.
yep.
How do I turn this ruler? I mean,
Up, press Alt, and then use your mouse over the ruler
okay.
and press the left mouse
mouse button.
button and just rotate it.
IP acai.
Okay.
Right? You got IP acai sana. Got it? So now you have your IP, you have your grid, you have your description, you have your elevation, you got pretty much everything you need already. You're friendly. You need to know where your friendly is. So friendly, you don't have to give grid. Friendly, you could just say, uh, just now, friendly is from the
400 meters southeast.
correct, betul. You got that ready. From the target, 400 meters southeast. Tak payah bagi grid, and you'll be marked by some. So now, those that have an IP, that's why you need your 9-line card. Kalau you 9-line card, senang. I already printed out. You just start filling it in lah. Isikan sekarang lah. Siapa ada tak? Who wants to isi? Siapa yang card, isi lah. I give you 1 minute to isi. Then after that, who's ready can call.
Tak dekat.
Aku sudah post. Bila ada masa, can print out and do it. I think our call sign Desta lah. Cantik tadi aku tengok. Cantik pun Desta. So Desta is the apa tu? Desta is JTAC. Okay. Aircraft kita panggil Reaper lah.
Vader.
Desta Vader.
Oh,
Type 1, right?
Well, we can try type 1, then you can try type 2 and type 3. Well, with this one, let's do type 1 first lah.
Oh, JTAC dia tahu juga apa jenis kenderaan kat depan kan. Dia kata apa tank.
Gadget.
Yep.
Okay, okay. How can we know the heading? Use the
Heading
map tools also.
tak ada. Heading you agak-agak je because macam heading it doesn't have to be so detailed. Macam your heading is actually the planning of how you want to do. Kalau you tak mau heading, you just bagi dia 90 wait like 270 dia akan dari sini jalan sini je. So let's say from IP Acai, everybody on global
Lebih
okay, everybody
kurang
on global.
250.
Okay, from like IP Acai, the way things are going, kalau let's say, for example, BTR kat sana, let's say, kalau let's say sini I map some stuff first.
JTAC nak test ke je?
Apa tu?
Nak test boleh tak? VTR tu.
Test BTR?
Nak test lah bagi tuan nak support lah.
Test apa?
JTAC lah.
Oh. You nak test? What do you mean you want test?
Nak cuba panggil lah. Panggil chat.
You macam kat dalam air lah you cakap.
Oh, ya ke?
You macam dalam fish tank tau.
Hello. Betul tak?
Better lah.
Okay.
Okay, you
Can you
what do you mean mau test? You nanti you mau buat JTAC test ke apa you mau naik BTR test?
JTAC test.
Boleh, aku bagi you test dulu lah. Okay, kejap.
Test dulu kan?
Okay, I set some obstacle kat sana so that you can plan some of the apa tu? Some of your headings lah.
Okay. Your dash star, is it? The pilot.
Okay, you nampak dia punya map kan? Aku letak 2 AA. Dua tempat ada AA. Okay, kalau map kecil ni is kecil lah. When besar is shouldn't be so close lah. But agak-agak lah, this one is okay. Now, from IP Acai, and then you know your BTR kat sana, dia ada AA kat atas north dengan west. What do you think is the best way for the aircraft to masuk? I would suggest
left?
yes, betul. Offset left, heading?
Heading 180.
240 heading.
180, 240. As long jangan bagi sampai 270 lah. That means you try to come from this angle lah.
Yeah.
But okay, you tak payah bagi offset tau. That means you bagi heading cukup. Offset is when you ada, okay, let's say aku ada triple kita punya artillery.
This map tool is blocking the map.
So,
Kau guna yang besar je.
dia punya tool bigger than the map, the tool. Okay, wait, I draw.
Besar nampak.
Sama.
Kalau dekat situ tak boleh panggil support ni mati tu.
Okay, you nampak kita punya friendly artillery kat sana, ada arti. Then dia punya gun line tu is around approximately 230. That means it's firing on the BTR pun lah. Okay, that means this is the gun line. You mesti deconflict. You jangan bagi dia punya aircraft fly sini and then keluar sini tau. Because you keluar sini, dia akan cross dia punya line. So that's why you ada conflict lah. So that's why the kalau you ada macam ni, the best route, look at it, yang tempat sini semua empty lah. So how do you from here? How do you get him to masuk and macam mana you mau dia keluar? Nampak tak?
Okay.
Who wants to start?
Okay, so. Okay, I can try.
Okay. Let's James. You want to try first?
Yep.
Okay, I
now
give.
This is a bit complex. I'll just try. Okay, just try.
Okay. Then after that, Kurnia.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'll call in
Wait.
JTAC.
Okay, you already mapped your what you call this already, is it?
Line.
Okay, if you map already, you stand by. I'm going to go through the whole thing. I'm going to do a check-in and then go through a 9 line for you. Okay?
Okay, wow.
I'm,
Okay, now that's proper. Okay, now.
that's right. So I'm going to move out. You wait for me. I'm just going to be I'll be Zeus, and if you call it right, I will send the thing correctly.
Hey, what's the radio?
Radio 60, I believe. Radio is 60.
Alright, okay.
Check Discord 60.
There's
Check 60 time.
Biscuit clear, Achai clear.
Gadget,
Yep.
can we mark the target using the laser designator's laser?
Yes, you can. Then you must know how to call at the 9 line. You must type mark line 7. Then you have to call it lah, laser.
Okay.
Okay, I will simulate as Zeus, so I can see the whole thing. I can see the bearings semua kat Zeus boleh. I can see your laser designated also. Zeus ni best actually. Okay, I'll be starting as a check-in sekarang eh. Death Star, this is Reaper. James, I'll talk to you first, huh?
Okay. What's your call sign is Reaper, right? I'm Death Star.
That's a fun.
Okay. Death Star. This Reaper is Death Star. Copy.
That's I'm on station, IP Achai, ready for fighter check-in.
Reaper is Death Star. Ready to copy. Prepare for line 9. Line.
No, what I'll do is I'll come and check in as a pilot first. Just now I just said I'm just arrived on station IPHI. Ready for my fighter check-in. So you say proceed.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start this Reaper. I'm on IP Achai at this moment. I'm ready for fighter check-in.
Reaper this Death Star. Proceed.
This is where you take notes lah. Death Star, this is Reaper 1-1. Mission number as fragged. I have on station flight of 2 Alpha 10 Charlie. Position is 200 meters IP Aichai, Angels 2. I'm now carrying 1,600 rounds of guns and 38 times FFAR. Playtime will be 0 plus 30. Actually, my mistake. Playtime will be 0 plus 30. Sensors able to self-designate it. I have FLIR as well as laser designation. Abort code will be nuclear. Out.
Reaper this Death Star. Copy that.
Okay. Now that you copy, you have my check-in, you have my ammo ordinance. So now let's say, that means you know I'm there already. This is where the mission goes on. So after the mission goes on, you will get a request for CAS. Okay. So let's say I buat macam squad lah. Death Star, this is Alpha. So right now I'm like the I'm squad is Alpha.
Alpha.
Okay.
Death Star, this is Alpha, come in.
Alpha this Death Star. Send.
Alpha, I have eyes on some enemy troops based approximately from my position. It's west. If grid right this moment is apa tadi punya grid apa lupa. 031 apa?
018.
031018.
Yeah.
Okay. Assuming that I'm Alpha, right? So I'm giving you a grid. I have 1 times BTR at this moment of time being engaged at this at current grid at 031018. How copy?
Alpha, Death Star, copy that.
That's the request CAS support from my position right now. I need to you guys to help me take out that BTR. How copy?
Alpha, this is Death Star. Could you report in your position from the BTR? Over.
My current position is approximately 400 meters west, 400 meters west of the BTR at this moment.
It's a bit far, right?
True lah, it's out in the sea. South. Make it south. I'm 400 meters south of the BTR.
For this Death Star, we copy that.
Okay, now
Reaper, this is Death Star.
this is 3%.
Reaper, this is Death Star, requesting CAS support.
Reaper ready to take 9 line.
Okay, Reaper, here goes. IP outside.
You forgot.
240.
No. James, you missed out one very important. Before the 9 line, that's why the okay, take this down if you have a note pad. So those that the cut, take this down. First line is actually before the 9 line. You have to give a type and control. Type 1, 2, 3 control in effect. Okay. Then line 1 will be IP. Line 2 is heading with either offset left or right kalau ada.
Yep.
Line 3 is distance. Lines 4 is target elevation.
Okay.
Line 5 is target description. Line 6 is target location. Line 7 is type of mark. Line 8 is location of friendlies. Line 9 is egress. Got it? So your start part before even the line is the type control.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead, start again.
I'll go ahead. Type 1 control in effect. Achai, 240 degree, 650 meters. Line 4 NA. BTR on the open. 031018, marked by laser. Troops in contact, sub 400 meters, 400 meters, egress southwest to Achai. Over.
Reaper reads position 031018. Egress as a location of 400 southwest friendlies. If my readback is correct, you say readback correct.
Okay, read back correct. And do I need to say time on target?
No, not necessary unless you need lah. If the mission say time on target, else you just say that now is ready to copy remarks. James, you would say ready to copy remarks. So then you got to tell me your remarks. Remarks will be telling me what weapons to use. And if you want to find, yep, you definitely need. I don't know which one to use. So let's say that's on the remarks. What weapon to use, and if there's a final heading, like just now in the map, there's a final heading. You give me that final heading.
Okay. If there's no heading, just the remarks on the weapon use.
Yep.
Okay.
But if no heading, I will go in through. Assuming that if you plan, I can actually go from Achai and actually go to 040 via the north. That means there's triple A's there, you know. Up to you lah. But if not, if don't want any complication, let's for this training purposes, you just give me the weapons to use lah.
The heading just now, the 240 is not the heading for you to come in.
Yes, but I'm coming 240. Is there a
Yeah.
cone that you want me to? Because remember south of it there's the alpha is on south, right?
Yeah.
So the 240, if I may open my cone too big, I may actually hit alpha also. So what you do is that you assess, maybe you give me a very tight heading, but in the event of this, for time purposes, you just give me the what you call this lah, for the weapons good enough. This is just
Okay.
for just to
River,
let everyone know lah. Kalau the other conflict, if there's any what you friendlies close by, you just have to give me a very tight tunnel to go through. That's when you give me final heading.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so in this case, just weapon lah.
Weapon.
No final attack, BTR. And do I say the number of FFR?
No need. Just say use guns or use rockets.
Okay, use guns or use rockets. Over.
No, you must tell me.
Pardon?
You want me to use guns or rockets? Which one? Or if you want both, tell me both. Let me just say it. Remarks as follows. Give me a rocket run only.
Remarks as follow. Rocket run only.
Reaper copies a rocket run. There's no final heading comment. Stand by.
Feedback correct.
Reaper IP inbound. James, you said IP inbound. So you should follow me.
Okay.
Reaper IP inbound.
Reaper continue.
Roger that. In from 240. Reaper in from 240. Here is where you tell me clear hot.
Okay. Reaper hot. Clear hot.
I went the wrong way. Supposed to be 240. Reaper rocket run complete.
Then I'll do a BTA, right?
Yep.
In this case, it's missed, so I'll say.
So you say miss slightly. This one is about what? Slightly, if I'm not mistaken, is slightly east.
Slightly east, okay. Ripple from this from this hits or miss.
You just say Reaper, you missed targets 150 meters east of target.
Okay, Ripple target miss 100 meters east from target.
Then you can give me acknowledgement for repeat.
So this is like two.
In other words, yeah, in other words, Reaper, you're cleared for another run, repeat.
Okay. Ripple, you're clear for another run, repeat.
This Reaper copies. James, you're not lasing the target. Are you? You're not lasing it.
I'm lasing it. I'm pointing the thing and pressing the button. There's a laser marker there already.
Is it?
Up there, right? With a star and then a line. So there's a symbol there already. Or do I have to press up?
I think you're lasing the wrong. You guys are lasing the wrong target, right? It's supposed to be on the hill 031. That's not 031, my friends.
031.
Sorry, the target 031018. Is that the grid? I thought this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the BTR with the,
Yeah, Bisco is getting the right one actually.
The long gun, right? The BTR with the long gun.
Yeah, but you guys
Yeah.
are lasing really close. Achai
Yeah,
also.
I'm still in 402 meters.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, the one with the yellow missile launcher, right?
How come? You guys are lasing a. Okay, salah. You guys are lasing a bush.
Huh? Okay.
No lah, the Zeus thing out. You guys are lasing a bush. It's. Yep, I see you guys. Maybe the bush is blocking the lasers. Atas sikit. Kunia dapat. Jelah kunia dapat. But now it's missing again. But you know which one, right? I think the list is yeah, Achai is almost getting there. I think the light outside lah. Okay, never mind. I think I know which
one.
one.
So the range is actually longer than 400 meters.
No, it is. Tak ada. It's 400 meters. Sus pun gila sikit dah. Now it's artillery pula. Yep, my Zeus is gila-gila already. Anyway, it's coming in.
Ripper, good hit.
Roger on that. At least you get it. Okay, so James, you got an idea already. Siapa mau next? That's pretty much the most basic what you call it 9-line calls lah.
Proper procedure lah.
Yep. Siapa mau call? Sekarang Kunia. Siapa mau try? Okay, Kunia, you try ah. Okay. Kunia, you try sekarang you jadi Death Star. Death Star, this Reaper coming. Death Star, this is Reaper.
Yep.
You want to use the same target lah, atau you mau guna troops, tembak tu troops pun boleh.
Try the same target lah, because already.
Yeah lah, you got to start.
Hey, who's firing?
Siapa yang tembak tu?
Somebody shoot me.
Oh shit. This is real training, man. Biscuit is all on you.
Okay, habis.
Reaper, this is Death Star.
Dah delete
Delete dah. Kacau ya. Death Star makan dia dah. Death Star, this Reaper coming.
What should I tell you? What should I answer?
Yeah, just macam radio lah. Go ahead, Reaper. Siapa sekarang? Who's doing the JTAC sekarang?
Apa sekarang? Kenapa? Acai.
Acai ya? Okay. Acai buat. Acai sama lah. You Death Star aku Reaper ah. Sekarang start. Death Star this Reaper coming.
Reaper, this data. This will be part 1 control.
Belum. Cepatnya. Oh, you banyak cepat. Aku mau bagi you punya apa dulu? Fighter check in dulu. Straight away masuk dah. Okay. Death Star this Reaper coming. Death Star Reaper. Kluk. Apa jadi?
Okay.
Death Star Reaper coming.
Reaper, this data. Go.
Death Star, currently ready for check-in. I am currently mission number identification as frag. Number of aircraft is to flight of 2 Alpha 10 Charlie on station. 200 meters west of IP Achai Angels 2. Currently carrying 1,600 guns and 38 times FFAR. Playtime will be 0 plus 30. Able to be self-designated. Abort code will be nuclear. How copy? Roger that. So sekarang Alpha sudah kena lah. Alpha, the Death Star is Alpha. This Reaper, send your 9 line.
IP Asai, heading 220, offset left, distance 600 meters, 600 meters, target, BTR, mark on laser,
Lupa, you miss out line 6 location.
400 meters south, laser to Bravo, what you're ready for remark.
Roger that on beta in the open. However, you missed out your locations grid. That.
Dekat target kan. Lepas distance kan, dia target.
Tak ada, you miss out location grid. You punya grid you tak bagi. 031018. So Death Star, I read BTR in the open. However, please repeat target location.
Target location 03011018.
Copy that. BTR in open 031018. How copy? Achai, read back.
Read back is good.
Copy, good read back. Stand by. This is Reaper, ready to copy your remarks.
Reaper, welcome you to rocket.
Try gun lah.
Track AA, try gun. Welcome you, try gun. Try right. 100 meters west. Take west from AA. You will be report IP inbound.
Copy. Stand by for inbound. This is Reaper inbound.
Reaper, this is
Bukan copy that. Mesti kata continue.
Continue. Mark is on the deck.
Roger that. This is Reaper in from the northwest.
Reaper start, clear hot.
Copy, clear hot. Stand by. Reaper weapons release.
Reaper is dead star. Target destroyed.
Roger, target destroyed. Returning back to IP Acai. Okay, bagus. Siapa mau try?
Cuba ni.
Boleh. Siapa ni? Biskut. Kunia, go, Kunia. Okay, Kunia, you ready? I will start.
Okay.
You Desta.
Okay, dia start.
Cuba guns lah. Setiap kali missile. Kejap. Desta, this Reaper coming.
Dia start. Jangan cakap lagi.
Macam biasalah. Go ahead for Desta, send your message. Sama lah.
Okay.
Death Star fighter check-in. Mission as frag. On station, flight of 2, Alpha 10 Charlies. Position at the moment is 200 meters east of IP Acai Angels 2. I have 1,600 guns and 38 times FFAR. Playtime will be 0 plus 30. Able to self-designate. Abort code will be nuclear. How copy?
Copy.
Okay, sekarang you bagi I cast mission lah, kata macam Reaper, this is Death Star, standby for cast mission. Macam tu.
Reaper is Death Star. Mission apa tu? Cast mission.
Standby for cast mission.
Standby for cast mission.
This is Reaper standing by.
Itu boleh bagi lah.
Ya, sekarang you boleh masuk, bagi 9 line. You start dengan Reaper, this is Death Star, this is a type 1 control, then you bagilah.
IP Acai.
You start lah, dari starting ah. Reaper dari Death Star, follow that, then bagi type.
Reaper this is Death Star. Death Star yang apa?
Yep, Death Star.
Death Star apa? Reaper this is Death Star. Apa?
Apa type apa ni? Type control.
Type control. IP Acai. Heading 201. Distance 601. Altitude target 30. Target description BTR. Target location 031018. Mark by laser. How copy? Over.
Belum habis. You lagi ada 8 dengan 9. Locations of friendly dengan egress.
Location of friendly. Troop in contact. Southwest. Use rocket run. Over.
Okay. Apa you buat? Tadi line 8 kan? Troops in the open. Friendly troop in the open. Southwest 400 meters. Lepas tu you miss egress. Egress to south by southwest to Acai. Ready to copy remarks. Macam tu. Okay, okay, you start again. You start dari line 8 Line 8 is location of friendly. Line 9 egress. Then lepas tu you cakap ready to copy remarks. Lepas tu bagi remarks use apa kan. Sekarang you start with line 8 dulu. Location friendly.
Location friendly, true in contact, southwest, English, west to Aceh, ring up by rocket line, over.
This is Reaper. BTR in the open. Target location 031018. Over. So Acai, sekarang you dengar saya macam tu, you confirm saya punya betul, you kata good readback.
Cakap confirm eh?
Good
Confirm.
readback. Good readback.
Good feedback, confirm.
Copy that. Will advise when IP inbound. This is Reaper, IP inbound. Kunia, you masih continue ke tak continue?
Bagi aku continue lah kan? Continue belakang.
Betul, so when I said, this is Reaper, IP inbound.
Continue belakang kan?
Nah, bila saya cakap habis, you kata continue lah. Kejap Reaper, this is Reaper IP inbound. Kunia cakap continue.
Continue.
Roger that. In from the northwest. Sorry. In from the northeast. Okay, sekarang you mau bagi saya clear hot ke tak mau?
Clear hot lah.
Cakap lah.
Cakap apa clear hot lah
Masuk radio, cakap clear hot.
Clear hot.
Reaper gun run 2 mics.
Copy over.
Reaper southwest to Acai. Okay, sekarang you tengok, you kata better you punya BDA bagi.
Good hit. Target destroy.
End of mission.
End of mission.
Solid copy on end of mission. Reaper's back to IP Acai this moment. Bagus lah macam tu. That's your... Apa tu?
Kalau ada emission, dia balik ke IP Aceh balik aja tu kan?
Kalau ambition aku boleh balik lah. Kalau you mau saya pergi IP lain pun boleh cakap anything lah. So it's your direction. End of mission. Thank you very much. Return to IP Acai. Macam tu you boleh cakap. Unless you...
Kalau target tidak destroy, kita panggil balik lah. Continue tugas kan?
Betul. Kalau target tak destroy, you kan boleh cakap target is still in the opens, partially hits. You are authorized for a rerun, continue attack. So aku akan datang balik lagi sekali. Okay. Okay, Biscuit mau try? Go. This time you try and ask me to go second round lah. First round miss, bagi BDA miss, then try go second round. Go again.
Oh, first round you miss, then second round lah.
You continue with second round. How you going to authorize second round? I leave it to you lah. Okay, gonna start. This is Reaper coming.
Reaper, this is Death Star, proceed.
Death Star mission fighter check-in as follows. Mission as fragged. Flight of 2 A-10s Charlie. Currently 200 meters east of IP Acai at Angels 2. I have 1,600 guns and 38 times FFAR. Playtime will be 0+30. Able to self-designate. Abort code will be nuclear. How copy?
What should I say?
You copy betul, you got good copy lah. This is simply I'm okay. I'm giving you my stocks. So by now you dapat you punya stock.
Okay, Reaper, this is that star, good copy.
Okay. This is Reaper standing by. So now once I check in already, then
Reaper, this is that star, prepare for cast run.
this is Reaper ready for 9 line.
Sekejap Jam. Ada smoke. Okay.
Target mark by let's move.
Alright.
Reaper, this is that star, type 1 in effect, IP Acai heading 240, distance 650, target elevation 3, target description BTR, target location 031018, marked by, dah hilang dah, laser je lah.
Okay.
Lagi?
Location of friendlies, berapa
Standby, aku check balik.
061.
Location of friendlies, southeast 400 meters, egress, egress southeast to IP Acai. We copy.
I copy 30, target location 031018.
That is correct. Use gun run.
This is Reaper gun run. Will advise when IP bound out.
That's star copies.
This is Reaper in.
In.
In continue. Aku inbound dah.
Oh, continue. Okay.
Because I
my heading, final heading.
tak ada. When I say this is Reaper inbound, whether things have changed ke tak change. Kalau tak change bagi inbound.
Reaper, continue.
Reaper continuing. That's this Reaper in from the northeast.
Reaper, this is that star, cleared hot.
Berapa hilang? Berapa target hilang?
Oops. Dia sudah musnah. Never mind. Tadi miss lah considered. So now try again. Kejap, I bagi satu lagi.
Boleh lah tu. Sure, I say from lead hits.
So, yep, now you said you can tell lah kalau miss target authorize for second run. So you say Death Star repeat.
Reaper, this is that star, target miss from lead hits southeast.
Is that correct?
Tak apa. Now after you kata target miss, what you want me to do?
Reaper, this is that star, target miss, do another gun run.
This is Reaper. I copy target miss. Returning for second run. Out.
That's star copies.
This is Reaper inbound IP.
Reaper, continue.
Reaper in from the northeast.
Reaper, you are cleared hot.
Kena.
Super punya tak kena.
Never
Lah,
mind lah.
kata
Kena
lah.
lah tu.
Ya, kena lah. So,
Reaper, this is that star. Target hit. Good hits, good hits.
mission complete ke apa?
Mission accomplished.
Return to?
Oh, return to IP ni.
Yep. Because I'll be waiting for your further order.
Okay, stand by.
Return to IT lah.
Ah, okay. Dah.
Okay, that's pretty much with more practice and that will be good lah. Siapa lagi mau buat ke or everyone done already?
Still Eric.
I got a little.
Thought Eric left, right?
confused.
Did Eric leave or?
Yeah, me too, man.
Eric left already.
Ah, Eric left already.
Okay.
So,
Gadget.
wait stand by, I'm coming back in. Okay.
Macam dah
one more.
repelling dah.
Okay,
Last
just
one.
oh the fragments.
Okay guys, siapa tu? Acai kat atas ah?
Tu tengah repelling.
Turun. You banyak style lah lo. Okay, for feedback and final questions ke before I call it the day. So I think basically you guys did. Oh tu baru explode. Finally rosak. Anyways, yeah, you guys get the idea already. Basically, I think too many procedures make you kelang kabut, even the most basic one, which is calling in your own call sign pun sudah kelabar dah. But otherwise, it's a straightforward thing. It's not a big hard thing. Too many things to mind. Yeah, but it's also good that you print out the 9 line and fighter check-in, so that when you once you fill it in, then after that following target senang je. You can just erase and just adjust accordingly. And you punya flow pun senang kalau you ada the 9 card. When you cakap, you go through line by line, your flow will be macam smooth je. Yeah, you won't forget. Because if you just think of memory, susah lah I tell you. Honestly, even the real JTAC, I notice also mereka masih guna dia punya 9 line card. Okay, so otherwise, good job, and I think good experience. At least you guys are now more or less considered Arma Malaysia certified JTACs who knows a lot more than most people in the details of it lah. In the most summarized way, tak payah buat research, aku buat untuk you all. And kalau boleh buat this video next time, I think you can just refer to it lah. Panjang the video. Otherwise, any questions? Last questions or any things that you need to clarify?
Yes.
Yep.
So if this is a heli run, I'll just start from line number 5.
You don't start from line number 5. What you do is you call it 1, 2, 3, 4 NA.
Okay. So then, those are NA. So
Yeah.
we need to have info from the 5 onwards. But
Correct.
is it okay if still I can provide the distance from
Yeah.
the BP?
You can. So
Okay.
actually you don't have to, because let's say for heli, right? All you need to do is just to let me know because helicopter you just need to know the type of target and the
Okay.
location of target. Because distance Basically, it's for the aircraft, the fixed wing aircraft, to understand that he has so much time to get, because
Ah,
he's,
okay.
he's on the move all the time. He's not hovering. So he knows, let's say if it's 6 miles away, or like 10 kilometers away, he knows how to arrange his angle and all that. But the helicopter, he just hovers, so it's very easy for him to agak how far. He just needs to know the distance only.
Boleh tahu.
So, for instance,
Ustaz,
just a quick
First,
timeline will be.
because yeah, first of all, I think for the heli itself, there's no IP already. The better position is fixed already.
Okay.
Lagi?
Okay, Gadget.
Yep.
What if suddenly we have to abort the mission? What should we say to the pilot?
okay.
Tu tadi aku bagi abort punya code when I check
No,
in.
I mean after we say nuclear,
Hmm.
what should the pilot do and what should we say?
Just say abort nuclear, abort. Just say abort code nuclear. So then I will break the contact lah. So I will break the contact. I will move to where the egress is. What you can say, you can just tell Reaper this Death Star, stand by for further orders.
So you just lalu lah and not
Uh,
shoot.
Tak ada. I will break contact. Either I don't shoot lalu. You can tell me abort nuclear, just go by on a dry run, or you can just say abort nuclear. When you say dry run, that means I will pass the target. Tak ada lepas lah.
Oh.
But then you can kind of compose yourself and say stand by for further orders. Then you compose balik and then see what you want me to do lah.
Okay.
Usually when you go abort means tiba-tiba you nampak ada civilian ke, or you nampak friendly masuk ke, or something lah. Like you nampak tu, you watch the Rock kan. Ya, you nampak tu Nicolas Cage kat sana, tiba-tiba ada flare macam ni, dia bogel kan. You bagi abort lah.
Patut lepas ada course ni kita ada kena ada misi ada JTAC baru boleh ingat. Kalau tak ingat dulu.
Anything else about you, Acai? Okay. Kurnia?
Aku ni get smoke tadi tak boleh kalau nak guna smoke tak boleh kan?
Okay, tadi ya macam biskut. When you shoot when you tembak dia punya smoke, you tembak too early tau. By right, when you hear me say IP inbound, that's when you say continue mark on target. That's when you shoot the red smoke. If it's laser, tak payah lah. Laser, you say the laser is on target. But smoke is when you hear me say IP saja inbound, and you should be able to, because IP, or for flight, IP tu about, let's say about 5 km away. To get there mungkin about 20 seconds lah. So you can agak-agak lah. You must wait for me to IP inbound, then you continue, then you put your smoke. Just now belum IP inbound, you sudah tembak smoke dah. That's why by the time I reach there, smoke habis lah. That's-
IP inbound baru buang smoke.
Yeah, or IP inbound, you agak-agak, because you as JTAC, you tahu the IP inbound. The IP is, let's say kalau 5 km ke 10 km, 20 km. If it's 20 km, then you agak-agak lah, because you are the one that set the IP and the distance. So if IP is IP
I
dekat,
think it's better to lace the target lah.
yeah, but sometimes you tak ada laser. That's the thing. You
We don't have laser a lot of time. Okay, Gadget.
all right,
Yep. Gadget.
James?
Yes. Like last night, right? As a Katsu call for cars, I got 3 squad like moving around. Do I have to report all the 3 squads position for the cars actually?
No, you okay. If let's say you give me type 1, type 2, usually it's 1 pass, 1 target. You give me too many targets, tak boleh.
No, not target. I mean the friendly's location, because we break that into 3
Oh yeah,
squads.
yeah. Then you have to give friendly location, all of it, so that you
So
know.
in this case, like line 8, I have to report 3 friendly locations. Is it?
Yes. Or
okay.
or what you could do is you can just summarize it by being a PL. You should inform all the squad leaders. There's telling squad leaders there will be a CAS coming inbound. Currently, all squad leaders pop blue smoke. So all 3 will pop blue smoke. So you can summarize. You can summarize in the location is. Be advised, 3 squads in the open. All 3 squads currently location on blue smoke. Then at least
Okay.
I masuk, I nampak ada 3 smoke, I know where they are.
Okay. Wow.
Ya, kalau cakap friendly smart by blue smoke pun boleh lah, senang lah.
At least give me a visual so I know where they are. If
Uh,
not,
So, possible to for the PR to ask the squad not to go into that area, right?
oh yes, please.
Okay.
You are controlling the people on the ground. When you know Cass is coming, you tell them to either hunker down, don't go in, or quickly pop blue smoke. If that so happens, when they pop blue smoke and you realize that the one of the friendlies the cut like only 50 meters, you call abort already.
Okay. So most probably like for the PR will be like all call signs stay out from grid 031018.
There will be
Would that
Cass,
be enough?
Cass, yeah, there will be Cass inbound. I'll tell him why to stay out. It'll be Cass
Okay.
inbound in 5 minutes or 5 mics ke apa. Yep.
Okay, Gadget. Say it's a night operation.
Hmm.
Will it become a type 2 or 3 because we can't see?
As long as you can't see it's type 2, doesn't matter. That means let's say it's night operation. If you can't see the target, unless you have NVG, you nampak the target, then you call it type 1 already. But if you target is pitch black, you don't even see, even though it's only 100 meters in front of you, you call it type 2.
Okay.
Okay, you have to have visual. Then most of it will be type 1 lah. And if let's say type 3 is you worried that the pilot is bosan ke apa, you want me to do something, you send me over there do type 3 lah. Okay, Kunia, anything? Tada?
Tak ada apa, okay?
Okay so just don't panic, and I think you guys did a good job. Get the card keluar kalau next time you mau main JTAC, the cards will help you. Otherwise, otherwise practice and jangan malu try JTAC punya position lain kali, okay? Kalau ada JTAC position, volunteer and practice. The more you practice, the bagus you get. Okay, thank you guys. Malam ni ada joint ops main tak?
Baik-baik kalau tak isu lah.
I will try lah. Most likely masuk. Alright, thank you guys. Appreciate it.